Battle Cat was like, I think 20 something. So I would say with that one, with new molding and prices going up, I'd probably say 30.
That one looks bigger though, and they can't reuse it. So I think I would give them. I would say $40 for that mount, $20 each for the figures. You're looking at $80, so $220 for the play set. If you do collector math,
the only thing
the offering's $300. It doesn't matter. Like you can break it down. You could be like, oh well, but it's an exclusive figure, so it's $25.
The ankles and hooves on the animal can be reused for any horse because it looks like they're just hooves and fur.
Oh,
on
so
that like
could,
last
could
joint.
Be Swiftwind. There could be
they don't have the
yeah,
scales on it?
Swiftwind, bow.
Oh yeah, well we got Swiftwind now too. So there we got horse. Yeah,
hyped for that. I'll buy that.
And then if they bring out Arrow.
And then Cowabunga, dude, you need to share this with us. I also got a 20% off code for backing this thing. Where do you get a 20% code? I need that. That would help out tremendously.
$1.20.
Right, $1.20. Yeah, right.
Did you use that on the snake lair? Or is it expired?
That's probably expired, yeah.
Yeah,
all right, I'm gonna start opening my stuff. I got some stuff to open. I'm opening Cartoon Collection Orko.
Very cool.
I don't think I've ever watched the episode The Return of Orko's Uncle, so I'm gonna have to watch that tomorrow.
I have. That was fun.
I know I've every time I open one of those, I don't remember, but
I've definitely never seen the episode Disappearing Act, so I'll definitely have to try to watch that. But I bought this because I love translucent figures. And then
are those all new or are those out? Because
the Orko's the newest wave.
I think they're
no, that's the wave before actually. The newest wave.
Is it?
Is that Blue,
well, no, I'm saying like not everyone really has that yet. It's not really like
I think this is
officially
the latest
released
wave
yet.
to like hit retail.
Just me.
Yeah.
Like
retail-wise.
They just showed up right before I left for San Diego, so I didn't know.
Yeah.
What
I'm in the Northeast, and we're still waiting behind for so much stuff. It's not even funny.
And then after those two, I will open my San Diego Comic-Con Mythic Legions.
Nice.
Paladin.
Very cool.
Oh.
Which took me 4 days to get. It sold out every day. Although I did hear that on preview night, which I wasn't there for, on preview night it was one per during the con, but on preview night there was no limit, so people were buying like stacks of them. And if I'd known that, I would ask somebody to buy me a stack of them because there was a whole bunch of people that wanted them, and I was only able to get mine basically. But it looks rad.
Cowabunga saying you got the code after backing it, so you got a 20%. And Frankie, I'm right here with you because every time I hear the word hooves, I'm always thinking, Freddie got finger. Look at my hooves.
Daddy, would you like a sausage? Daddy, would you like a sausage?
A couple of years ago, I watched that movie again. I was like, it is still so freaking hilarious.
Oh my god. We must get inside the animal.
I mean, let's be honest. Tom Green his brand of humor was definitely something new and out there when it first came out.
I loved it. Yeah, it was just so off the wall. Painting in his parents' house.
Remember the Tom Green show on MTV, and then Comedy. I think Comedy Central was like airing it afterwards because they were all part of the whole Viacom family way back when. It might still be that way now.
Yeah, man, went to Comedy Central after a while. I don't even remember that. Just reruns of the original show.
I think they were airing it maybe a couple years after it aired on MTV.
Okay, yeah, but it was.
That's a good 20 or so years ago. So memory's a little foggy.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
I remember he actually was married to Drew Barrymore.
He was, yeah,
for like a year.
Yep.
Yeah,
it was like 2001 to 2002. I'm like, yeah, hey.
I don't know why I've never been a Drew Barrymore fan. There was always just something.
I mean,
She
got on my nerves. Couple films.
She had that hot Poison Ivy phase, and then she was doing
one film of hers that not many people probably have seen that I absolutely love because like my mom would watch it pretty much every week, and it's the film Ever After.
Oh,
yeah, like a Cinderella take.
Yeah.
That film is good. And then of course anything with like Adam Sandler in it.
Adam Sandler.
With her. Yeah,
50,
like 50 First Dates. Wedding Singer.
Yeah.
Or are we in stereo at the same time?
I kind of forgot she was in Wedding Singer. I kind of forgot that Wedding Singer existed till you guys brought that up.
I mean,
it's a great
Julia
movie,
Gulia.
Not for nothing. I mean, just the soundtrack alone. If you love 80s music, it hits. But there's 2 volumes of it actually.
I mean, freaking Sting was in the film.
No, not Sting.
Or was it Sting?
Billy Idol.
Billy Idol. There we go.
He was on the plane.
I don't know why I always get those two mixed up.
It's the hair.
Look similar-ish, yeah. That spiky frosted hair.
They have similar features in the face. They're both English, so yeah.
Yeah, Billy Idol in First Class. Handing the microphone over to.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody touches Billy.
Oh, and the granny, the granny in the film was
doing Rapper's Delight.
Hip hop bebop.
Oh yeah, that lady, she's funny and everything.
I mean, if you notice, like some of the Sandler movies, the grandmothers are kind of hilarious.
Oh yeah,
Happy Gilmore. Of course, it was a Billy Madison or a Happy Madison movie, but he didn't star in it. Grandma's Boy, that's a classic.
We all love Grandma's Boy.
Yeah, the grandmas in that, man, they are.
Yeah,
it's funny the kind of douchebag.
Too, I forgot.
That douchebag from Grandma's Boy, the guy who was like creating the
Matrix.
Dude, that guy is like how I see Elon Musk.
Oh, definitely.
Just riding around on a fucking Segway, like a Matrix trench coat, just being weird.
Got robot legs.
Yeah.
It's a risky procedure. What's up? Say what's up.
Any of you guys? Any of you guys see the new Happy Gilmore movie?
Not yet.
No, I just seen Frankie was talking
about it. I thought it was okay. I mean, for a sequel that's like 20 some odd years later,
I kind of find like the Amazon Prime sequels, like they did the Coming to America one, which actually, there was funny parts in that, but I hated that movie because it was pretty much
terrible.
Like it was the Force Awakens of
Ooh.
that movie, because it was a retelling of the exact same story, except for it's just they're older. And I did like that they tied in that bar scene where like they were trying to meet girls, and one of them was a person he hooked up with off screen. That was kind of cool. But like
they spent a ton of money to de-age them and kind of like do those scenes.
Yeah,
that was obviously
good. Yeah.
Well, that just tells you this was a blank check movie. It was like, hey, Eddie, come do Coming to America sequel. Here's a blank check. We'll do whatever the hell you want.
You get to hang out with Earl, Jones again.
Yes.
Before he passes.
Is it Netflix that just picked up? Netflix picked up South Park.
Did they?
Did you hear about this deal? Or no, Paramount Plus.
I thought they picked up Sesame
Paramount
Street.
Plus. I remember that now because
I know. They're on Paramount Plus because I saw the Notorious episode.
They've been on there, but they still got canceled, and they've been picked up for I think 5 more seasons.
Yeah,
but the wasn't
deal,
that part of the $1 billion deal or whatever?
Yes, the deal is worth $1 billion. So those guys are billionaires now.
Matt and Trey,
and now they just get to make fun of.
They had cheddar before now, so I mean, come on.
But that just like I kept hearing that like Paramount Plus is struggling, like the streaming services are all struggling, and then Netflix dumps a load of cash on Adam Sandler. I think Adam Sandler is like owned by Netflix now. Like everything he does
Not everything
goes through Netflix.
Probably.
So these streaming services are really trying to like become the new networks, really. Like but like not even networks, but like they're trying to become the studios the way the studios were in like the 1950s, where they owned the rights to like first refusal for anything. Actors were they couldn't work for other studios. They had studio contracts, not even movie contracts, and that's how it feels like it's kind of going now. Well, which is great for the actors, but it's also kind of like, it makes me think of Lil Wayne's situation, right, where he doesn't want to make music for the label that he has
a contract, right?
He has a contract, so he just doesn't make music, and it's like,
well, I mean, it's that way for like hell, NBC, the big four, NBC, CBS, ABC, Fox, they all had contracts. Like, you get someone who's going to be an up and coming actor, you sign them so that oh hey, if you sign with our network, we have about 20 different pilots that we would like to maybe feature you in. That's how they get a lot of young talent. But then, if you ever notice, like certain actors kind of stick with certain networks for like the longest time. But I mean, I could easily see that. And let's be honest, like you said, it's what is it? 8? Oh, is it? There's going to be a couple Batman movies being made. I don't know if they're animated or not, but supposedly Cavill is tapped to play Batman: Brave and the Bold. I don't know if it's live action or if it's animated. Either way, I think he'll kill it. But it's like Amazon also owns James Bond.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of these, they're getting the IPs. I mean, hell, we had the Netflix series of Marvel shows. Remember, Daredevil, Luke Cage. They friggin' killed it with that. And then, thankfully, we won't talk about Iron Fist.
And then Marvel killed those series.
I was so excited for Iron Fist because he's like one of my favorite characters, and then that show came out, and it's like, this is Meet the Meachums. What the hell is this? I don't care about these two rich, snotty little fucks.
Well, I don't know if they're bringing back the actor who played Iron Fist because, like, I mean, I feel bad for the guy, but I'm sure he was doing how they wrote it. But he just came off as like this, as like
even as far as I heard back, like behind the scenes, like he just didn't want to train.
Yeah. But I mean, listen, honestly, I love the Netflix Daredevil.
Oh yeah.
But honestly, the one I can watch over and over again, and it's a bit of a hot take, Luke Cage. I can watch that all day long.
Luke Cage season 1 I can do. Season 2, the way it ended, I was just kind of like, eh.
I'm about to start
Jessica Jones season
I didn't watch
1.
any of those Netflix shows till recently. I've watched all of Daredevil now.
Jessica Jones
was good.
Season 1. I'm gonna watch Luke Cage season 1. I watched season 1 of Punisher. I'm watching all season 1s, and then I'm gonna go back and watch the Defenders. I didn't know you had to watch that Defenders in between season 2 and 3 of Daredevil. So I ended up watching all of Daredevil, and then like a good few episodes into Daredevil season 3. I was like,
sadly, sadly for the new Daredevil series that came out, I watched the first episode and then turned it off, and I haven't finished the rest.
No.
I was so sad and distraught. I was like, he's the reason I came back to the show. And you can't get rid of him.
May not be the end of him, though.
And of all things, he's a legacy Disney actor, if you think about it. Because he goes all the way back to the Mighty Ducks, one of the Bash brothers. And he was also in, did you guys ever see the movie Idle Hands?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was one of them.
Butterfly Effect.
Yeah. Our boy, and here's the thing, and this is not spoiling anything, but there's rumors that his character did not actually die.
I don't think it did, but like, part of the reason to come back to the show was to watch him.
The comic book run where he fakes his own death in the comic books.
Yep.
And literally the number of that comic.
Not dead?
In the comic books.
If it's going to go 100%. More towards the comic arc, then no.
I definitely agree with because the way Luke Cage season 2 ended, how are you going to be the man who sticks it to the man, and now you are the man? You just can't. And if anyone screams spoiler at me, you had what, half a decade or more
Yeah.
to watch that show.
That's like a decade.
That's me.
It's like a decade.
I'm about to start season 1.
Spoilers.
It's good. It's not going to ruin it for you.
Kills Dumbledore.
Yeah, it's alright.
I mean,
if Foggy
for me,
comes back, that's.
I mean, it's how they did in the comics. So I mean, I could see something like, he faked his death, like he took some.
It was something with Vanessa.
Who knows?
Yeah, Vanessa gave him a vial of something to slow his heart, and it's all to take Fisk down.
Yeah,
they needed to put Foggy into hiding because he knew something.
Yeah,
and that's what happened in the comic.
But I'll say this:
how long of an arc was that?
I don't recall.
Well, I'm going to say this: if you haven't, those who haven't seen it, I've heard of, because I saw a lot of the haters saying, "Oh, well, hey, what's about this? This is because you obviously you see the first episode, you see that Matt has this tremendous loss as Daredevil.
Yeah,
he hangs up his cowl. He stops being Daredevil for a year or so, and some people are complaining, "Oh, what's this? How are you going to have a Daredevil show without Daredevil?"
I thought that was phenomenal, though.
It was. I freaking loved it.
Yeah, I heard the show's great. I'll eventually go back and watch it. It's just I'm not over episode 1 yet.
There were some people like saying, "Hey, what's this all about?" Even in the comics, you have to go with the storylines. You have to have the characters have to have their arcs. So when he does finally come back, it's all that better. And I mean we get the Punisher in this.
It's no different than
it's awesome. And
then season 1, we didn't get to Daredevil until the end. It was Matt the whole time.
And to see some of the stuff that they pull off in here, and it's on Disney Plus, I'm just like, okay, I appreciate it. I mean, I enjoyed it. I can't wait for the next season.
New Daredevil too, because they said that he didn't become Daredevil until like the 3rd or 4th episode. So they went back and redid.
And he didn't get the suit until the very end.
Yeah. And that's another thing. I'm still trying to get my hands on the Daredevil figure that they did, because Hasbro.
I got the old one.
Yeah.
Here,
I'm hoping that like right before Hasbro starts shipping those figures out, that I'll come across one in store and I'll be able to just pick it up then. I did pre-order Punisher though. The Joe Baron
Punisher figure looks really good.
It looks friggin' amazing.
Sculpt is beautiful.
I saw pictures of people who went to SDC and they saw it in person. I'm like, just even the generated image that Hasbro had on Pulse. I'm like, I ordered 2, one for me and one for my, one for Dre, because I had premium up until that point. So I just ordered them both. I was like, get one for him, one for me, and I'm like, but it looks fantastic,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited to see what they do with Punisher.
Echo in there. I did go and watch Echo recently too. After I watched it in between the Daredevils.
I enjoyed Echo.
Echo's good. That was
decent too. Yeah.
Before we went live, Cobb, you and I were talking about how there's series that are sort of just adjacent to the MCU that are still good, but you don't need to watch them. I think Echo falls into that category where it should almost not be sold as an MCU thing. But if you like, Marvel characters and you like, what happened
you gotta
leading
watch
up to that series, then you're probably going to enjoy the show. Like it's pretty good.
If you want to understand what happened to Kingpin between the Hawkeye show and then how he appears in the Daredevil, you kind of gotta watch Echo because something very important happens.
Yeah.
And I'll say this: there's only the only negative thing I have to say about Echo is it does the tried and true trope of, hey, let's turn a bad guy, whether it's a hench person or a big bad, give them their redemption arc.
Not every villain needs a arc.
Yeah,
there's times I wish villains were just villains.
I think hers
I liked it
works.
Though. Oh yeah,
because I think hers is a circumstance thing, not a.
Yeah.
You know, when you like, if it was a Kingpin redemption arc, I'd be like, no thanks. But it felt organic. It felt, you know, it felt valid for her to get redemption, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because she actually kind of figured out that the person that she, you know, put all her trust and faith in was a villain. And it was sort of like, wait a minute. If I've been following a villain all this time, maybe, you know, I've been doing the wrong thing. So it felt less like a villain coming to the light kind of thing, and more like somebody who'd been misled their whole life, realizing that they'd been misled their whole life. So it didn't feel like a redemption arc in that same way as when you see like a big bad get
like in the new Motu movie, if they give Skeletor some kind of redemption arc, I'd be hella mad. He's a character that just needs to be sinisterly evil. Like, giving him the Keldor backstory, it assisted, but it didn't change anything. Like, he's still Skeletor, and he's still Skeletor for a reason.
Like you said, Keldor?
Yeah.
I still gotta unbox him.
Oh, I want that figure for the cape and the head. Because I want to put that cape on my Origins 2000X.
It cracked me up that they got Shatner to do the voice.
Oh, that was so great.
It was
him chewing up those lines.
Oh yes.
I was happy.
I mean,
to think that you have those two dualities. You have Luke Skywalker and Captain Kirk is in Luke Skywalker's head.
Yeah.
Or, well, I guess Joker's head, more or less, but still.
And I mean, you know, let's be honest. They've both played villains in the Batman universe, because he did voice when they did an 66 or whatever, Adam West.
Mm-hmm.
He played, Shatner was Two-Face for that.
Which is honestly kind of perfect.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you know, Shatner killed it. I agree with Thanos. He definitely killed it.
You know who, like, crazy-wise, you know who would have been the perfect Two-Face? If they got, for like, voice-wise. Gary Busey, but now. Crazy, was it butter steak or whatever?
Butter sausage.
Butter sausage, yeah. Let that be the crazy side of Harvey Dent.
One of my buddies.
Yeah, he already looks like the evil side.
One of my buddies who does game streams, he has like these audio things called blurbs that you can like automatically play. He's got a whole playlist of Gary Busey sayings, like butter sausage, something like honey. I don't put honey because I put it on my lips. Some weird Gary Busey kind of thing, but I mean, back in like the 90s, he was like the villain.
Oh yeah.
We had him in Predator 2. He was the CIA guy. I mean, he was the bad guy in Drop Zone with Wesley Snipes. I mean,
and then he's also pretty good
like, a lot of
hero character, but like when he was in Rookie of the Year. Yeah, he was actually like
Yeah, he played a few fatherly type figures, but of course his son
flawed character, but good. You know,
his son can play some pretty crazy characters.
Oh yeah. I mean, I mostly give him from
Starship Troopers.
Troopers, yeah.
He was also the main villain from the Frighteners with Michael J. Fox.
Wasn't he also in Idle Hands?
Was Busey?
Wasn't he one of the? No, wait, no. The friends were.
It was Seth Green.
Seth Green, and then Foggy.
And, yeah.
And then Devin Sawa. Okay. The only reason I love that film is because like off offspring make a little like concert appearance, and then they get their like skulls ripped off and stuff.
It was his kid's name, Jake, I think. Jake Busey.
Yeah, Jake.
I'm surprised Gary Busey's still kicking, man. I would have easily thought he would have kicked the bucket a long time ago.
He's crazy, but he's not one of these crazy like guys that's gonna die from.
Yeah.
Like he's just crazy. Not
I'm
like,
pretty sure that the drugs are keeping him alive. I mean, it's like a type situation.
Yeah, he'll die when he stops them.
Right. It's kind of like the only reason RFK is alive is because of the brainworm in his head. It's sitting there piling him like a mech.
You guys can hold it down for a second. I'll be right back.
Yes, sir. But like, I mean, like, what was it? I saw the posts, the memes people were sharing after Ozzy passed away. Yeah, Keith Richards. Every time a rock star dies, he absorbs the quickening.
Oh yeah. Honestly, I thought the next celeb to die was going to be Phil Collins because he ain't doing too hot.
Yeah, thankfully I saw him on one of his last tours a few years back, and yeah, he was sitting down for the most part, but like now but his kid can play so many damn instruments, it's not even funny. So I wouldn't be surprised if his kid takes over. Should probably.
Another person I'm surprised is still alive, and especially because of the new Superman film, but Iggy Pop.
Yeah,
like seeing him now, like kind of move around. I'm just like, dude, you should sit down. You shouldn't be walking.
He's always. I mean, hell, even when what was it? Was it The Crow 2? I think he was in.
Mm-hmm.
He looked pretty frail back then, and now it's how many damn years ago?
He's moved like that for about 20 years.
Yeah. Again, it's the drugs that keeps him going.
And I think he's actually really healthy now.
He's 78.
He was really unhealthy, at the start. Iggy and the Stooges, I think was not great for him, and I think he's kind of come around. And I think now he's like ultra healthy.
He's 78 years old, so I mean, hey, or part
ultra healthy. I mean, he exercises and takes care of himself and all that kind of stuff. So I think he'll be around for a while.
Well, I mean, hell, Dick Van Dyke said that like he's almost 100, and he exercises regularly, and he's got himself a younger.
Still freaking dances on stage.
More power to him, man. I mean, it's like
99 years old, Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah. My wife, her coworkers have a Deadpool that they do at her work, right?
Wow.
And of all things, like one of her coworkers was joking around, and I said, if I ever meet this guy, I'm going to kick him in his nuts, just for the sheer fact that she and I are going to Fan Expo Canada in Toronto this month, because I finally get to live out one of my lifelong dreams of actually meeting Michael J. Fox and Chris Lloyd and getting a photo done with them. And she was like, oh, so-and-so said that he has Michael J. Fox on his Deadpool. I was like, if anything happens before the end of the month, I'm coming and I'm kicking your coworker in the nuts. I don't care. Because that's another thing. It's like Ozzy had Parkinson's, but he found out only maybe 10 or so years ago. Michael J. Fox, he's been rocking. Yeah, I mean, he came out with Parkinson's in the 90s, and the man is still going. So, Cobb, did you bring enough food for everybody, or?
Yeah, fruit bowl.
Nice.
With tons of blueberries. Oh shit!
Just pass it around, right? There you
go. Yeah, my eating schedule is all off today too. I had breakfast and then just freaking ton of popcorn.
I grabbed a plate full of. We had like brats and hot dogs and chips. I took some in my room. Like I ate that and then passed out.
So,
of course, now I woke up. I'm a little hungry, but I'll eat later.
Yeah, coffee going. Coffee is messing me up. I need something else with it.
I've never been a coffee drinker.
I'm usually a really heavy coffee drinker, but for the past month, I've been pretty much just drinking water.
I'll do like an iced coffee. We have a coffee shop chain up here in Buffalo called Tim Hortons, which is usually based out of Canada, and they do really good like a iced cappuccino, like a French vanilla ice cap. That's usually like if I get anything coffee, it's usually something like that. Very rarely will I do like regular coffees or cappuccinos, like hot ones, because coffee just like it relaxes me.
Mm-hmm.
Like some people drink it,
The caffeine
more
does
of a
not
caffeine fix.
affect me at all. Like I can drink a gallon of coffee and be fine. Like not be running to the toilet or jittering or nothing. Like I pretty much just drink it for the.
You drink energy drinks too, bud?
Hmm?
Do you do energy drinks too, or
no? I did, and well, not really did, but like one time I tried one, and around here we have these like really large cups at our like gas station. One of them they had a freaking energy drink. I'm like, yeah, fill it up, and I downed it, and I was like borderline almost having a freaking heart attack.
Were
like
you
I
the
was
Greek
just
portfolio?
jittering. Oh, it was bad. Like I was jittering and I was freaking out. And ever since then, like I'll drink a Red Bull maybe every once in a great while, but like
I never liked the taste of Red Bull.
Yeah, they had it in a fountain drink.
Sorry, what?
I say you can drink pot and listen. Carol,
yeah,
I give Carol crap because she falls asleep on coffee, but I kind of did today too, though. I had coffee and fell back to sleep, so that's because I didn't sleep all last night.
Back in my rink years ago when I was in high school, I worked at a roller rink, and I used to make this drink called a suicide. I had to have this big oversized mug, right? Probably about like this tall, this wide. I would fill it up with every pop, like every different kind of carbonated beverage that we had.
Yeah.
I would hit all the fountains, including like the lemonade, the slush puppy. I would put the slush puppy base in there, and then do like 2 or 3 squirts of every flavor. That was like my big energy kick when I was working there. One time I made an extra one of those, but gave it to one of my coworkers to try. Like, how the hell can you drink that? I'm like, keeps me going. Mountain Dew, root beer, loganberry, pink lemonade, everything mixed in. But I gave up carbonated beverages a couple years ago, so fun.
So how's your Orco, Adam?
Orco's
Have
great.
you opened them yet?
Yeah. Orco's great. There's the hat is like articulated.
Yeah, I like that. I like he's like
so
smaller.
You can get sort of the really kind of hidden Orco, but you can get a more expressive sort of open.
It is a pain in the ass to switch out the heads though.
Yeah, there's multiple
because of the
pieces
double ball
for it. Because the hat,
the double ball joint thing. They almost need like a little tool to get underneath his head, and
I went a bit Macbeth with the talking to the Havoc staff, but this is also great. I'm gonna take this off. I don't know, like I said, I don't know this episode. I don't know anything about this. I just thought a translucent Skeletor was a dope looking figure. So
I mean, translucent figures in general are pretty awesome.
I believe he went invisible and then used. Or didn't Orko throw that thing on him so that He-Man could see him? Like he threw
in the
his
clip that I saw,
yeah,
and then they're just swinging.
Kind of like if someone's invisible and you throw like paint on them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Did we ever see Orko without his hat? Ever?
There's art, but in the show they never showed.
In the Mondo one,
he's a blue little imp.
Did they do it without?
Yeah, Mondo took that artwork and made it too.
And they gave him feet too, and it
he's basically a floating infant.
Say what's up to Trooper too.
Because in like my head, I always thought of Orko being like kind of like Marvin the Martian. You could see his eyes, but you couldn't see his actual head.
I always thought him kind of like Mr. Popo from Dragon Ball Z. Popo.
I was same here too. Thanos, that middle piece of Orko's head, did that come out on you? There's like a little. I don't know. It's got a little tube.
I didn't take it apart. Oh. I'm just gonna leave it like this. I'm never gonna.
Yeah, I would just get like a second one.
There's alternate pieces.
Or that helmet.
There's alternate pieces to make his uncle. But... No, not at all. The helmet doesn't stay on at all. Which
do you got any of the?
Right? So it kind of doesn't make sense that it doesn't stay on his head.
You probably don't got any of the figures that have like the wigs.
No.
Slap. Oh man, like I think it's King Randor has a hair swap. I wonder if that would fit on Orko on the bald head. That'd be hilarious.
But I did open this, and this is phenomenal. There's so much cool stuff in here. The printing on the soft goods is I mean I'm
gonna blow you up for that real quick.
Like the closest thing that I can compare this to is Gideon on the horse there. But this is next level. Like the printing on this, like you could see the little sort of gold. I thought it was stitching on there. You could see sort of on the edge here. There's like a gold stitching, but it's not stitching. It's printed on there to look like it's stitched.
That's awesome.
Oh wow! Really?
It's like a gunmetal gray. I thought it was just a silver, but there's like actual beautiful paint apps to the.
I love all the strapping you have on there, though.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So it's some of the newer stuff. So you got the newer belt that has like the sword sort of loops. There you can kind of see it. You can put a sword in there, and then the strap across the shoulder. He's got the chainmail piece that goes on the neck. This has the swappable faceplate as well. And then the faceplate, I believe, that comes in here will come off. I think. But I'm not going to bother doing it because it would take me forever probably to do it. But mine is probably going to be getting the hooded head. So I'm not really worried about that.
It's like the hooded head makes me think of like if the figure Dubon got like a
upgrade.
Upgrade per promotion or something.
Because this is going to be part of the Kickstarter for the tabletop game, the D&D type game, you get a D20, which again has the 4 Horsemen logo on it. It's considerably, if anybody got the one from Legions Con last year, it's considerably smaller than that, but same idea.
That's what she said.
I'm hoping there's more stuff at Legions Con related to this. I think that timeline wise makes sense because I think they're doing the game as a Kickstarter sooner.
I'm hoping to maybe make my first Legion purchase at some point at the Toronto's Fan Expo, because I have a couple like secondhand, like my buddy Dre had sent me 1 or 2 figures, over the time, but I've never actually had one brand new, so I'm hoping maybe to get 1 or 2.
We get the same like magical staff topper that we got with Zende, but this one is translucent. Like I don't think you can see. It's more translucent. It's translucent. All these blue.
Yeah, I could see when you're moving your finger behind it.
Yeah, here maybe if I do something dark behind it, you can see. Yeah. So it's quite translucent, and there's like texture to it. It's like this is gorgeous.
And how much was that figure?
It was $60.
Okay.
So it was pricey. But I just noticed this. I don't know that I'd seen this anywhere, but to be honest, I hadn't seen anybody open this or unbox it. You also get these cards. So you get the Paladin card and the Cleric card. And then there's QR codes on the back where you can actually scan the back and download full character sheets for these characters. So if you play D&D, like you know what a character sheet is, I won't bother explaining it.
Yeah.
But basically, your character's stats and stuff like
that stats,
are sort of on here on a QR code, which is rad. Like At first, I was like, "Why is there cards?" Like I thought it was like a a D&D style of game.
Well, that's cool that they actually went and did that.
Well, like I said, this is a version of this figure. So this figure in different color will be included in the Kickstarter campaign. But I love this color, this black and gold color, which is essentially the San Diego Comic-Con color. San Diego Comic-Con is like gray, black, yellow. Which is why he gets the shield that's in those colors. But
I think Steelers fans, let's be honest.
Steelers. Somebody was saying, I think it was Oz complaining about Steelers fans or whatever. You get more expressive hands, so if you're going to do them as a cleric, you can do sort of the spell casting hands. You get a book on a chain. A lot of this stuff we've seen before. Like a lot of this is reuse. I don't think there's actually anything in the box.
I noticed that book on a chain was black, so that's his black book on a chain for all the wenches in each village. Hey,
just because I have them on hand.
Oh, that looks amazing.
Cute. I added some extra cloth to him. But yeah, he's a really dope, big ass figure. I usually have him sitting on top of my.
He looks like he's like the size of a suitor from Marvel Legends.
Yeah, he's
What's he about? Maybe 10 inches tall, maybe?
Yeah, 10 or 11 because of the horns.
They're he's about 10 to the top of his head. I know that because we measured him for purposes of elephant scaling.
Just playing yogurt here with this. What's up, man? Talking about the O on the Orco's chest for when you have the uncle.
Yeah, wasn't like a square or something.
Yeah, no, he didn't have anything. I don't think.
Or no,
so they're saying like
he had something on his
beard should cover it. Did he? I thought it was just.
No, I thought he had like a square, and then the younger one had a Y because he was like Yippee or something.
Was it? I know my friend got one of those magic erasers, Mr. Clean thing.
Yeah.
Or just the sheets, not actually the eraser, but one of the sheets, and was able to take that O all the way off. So.
Now, is it sculpted in, or is it just like a painted O?
60.
Yeah, for $60. I mean, I'm gonna say for $60, it's given that normally Mythic Legions figures are, 40 direct from the Horsemen, and then I think up to about 50 retail. $60. I was a little bit reluctant, but I would say that I'm not disappointed. Would I even want to army build this at $60? No, but
any Comic-Con figure is going to be a little bit more.
That figure you just showed, someone's selling that on eBay for 200 bones.
They were so when I got mine, we were just chatting with some people on the floor, and they were saying that they at that time during Comic-Con they were going for $300 on eBay. Like they were listed for $300 on eBay.
That's insane.
Yeah, to me that's crazy. I mean, it's not a figure that's worth $300, but then again, I don't have to pay that. So if it's worth $300 to somebody, that's cool.
It's like
you could get a whole snake layer for that.
Wah, wah, wah.
There's the alternate face. It's the face I think we got with it with one of the knights before. So like I said, none of this is new, I don't think. Maybe the bearded faceplate is new. Maybe that's the only one that I can think of. But we might have seen it somewhere else and I just can't think of it either. But $60, I mean, there's a lot of stuff in the box. There's a lot of extra parts too. So you can use some of this stuff on other figures and stuff like that. If you want to, if you're so inclined.
I'm gonna start looking for parts I want to try and make up like a man-at-arms Duncan. Because he's expensive too. That orc version they've made of him, but really rather have like a human version than the orc.
I saw somebody do one recently, and I think they used like the Masterverse Man-at-Arm armor on a mythic figure and just painted it. So they used.
Yeah, I've actually played around to see if it fits. Because like that new Eternia Man-at-Arms came with extra head, and then the 2 helmets are removable. So I was like, that's what made me even think about it. I was like, oh man, if I use this helmet for sure.
Then, I think what I saw was they used like the bear
I think I just saw a figure too. Oh yeah, even that, huh? Yeah, that's green.
Because then it's already green, and it kind
I
of.
did see like a new figure too that had like a green tunic or something kind of underneath. I don't know. There's a few different things kind of popped off to me. We did finish up, pretty much finished up my Skeletor. Just need to maybe glue this helmet because it wants to pop out. I've been heating it up, but
now, are any of you guys looking forward to the Master Universe movie?
As somebody that doesn't, really, obviously have much invested in the lore of Masters of the Universe, I am. Because I won't be like, oh, that's not the way it's supposed to be. I'll be like, I'll just be able to judge it based on like, is it a good movie or not.
I enjoyed the 87 movie so much that like I don't ever see myself hating this one unless they do like some weird
and He-Man's been told
make Skeletor good or something,
My thing is, I just feel like it feels like they're trying to do kind of a weird reverse Guardians of the Galaxy kind of a thing. That you take a child from one planet and you just drop them on Earth for like a decade and a half, and then you're suddenly going to tell them, hey, by the way, you have this great purpose and mission on planets, and we're going to take you away from everything you've ever known.
My thought is they hide Adam and the sword on Earth to keep it away from Skeletor. Skeletor finds out, travels to Earth. The others have to travel to Earth to get to Adam first. Because if Skeletor gets the sword, he gets into Grayskull, unlocks all the powers of the universe, yada, yada, yada. It's kind of how I see it, but I also thought I heard a story of Adam traveling with the others to Earth. And he's disguising himself as a human in order to get the sword. I thought that's what I heard in one of them, which I thought would be kind of cool. Like, Adam's already on Eternia. That would be cool.
The thing that I feel off about is, okay, we had the 87 movie, okay? I remember seeing that in the theaters, believe it or not. Now, that one, let's go to Earth. We're going to wind up on this planet
here. That was a weird Earth. 80s trope.
Yeah. And it's just like, we're making another
2,
we're making another Motu movie. Let's go to Earth. So again, it just feels like, I mean, we don't have to go to Earth. There's plenty of other worlds out there.
It does kind of boggle me a little bit. There was that was the number one criticized thing, and if any of the filmmakers looked up anything on the film, they would have known that the whole Earth thing is something that people did not like and they hated. So why do it again? I'm just hoping that it's done so good that we just don't really care.
I mean,
maybe the Earth part's less than half the film.
I hope
what if it's the first 5 minutes?
It's a red herring. Most of it happens on Eternia.
That's what I want.
Because the 80s movie, it started in Eternia, then it was on Earth the whole rest of the movie.
Because one thing,
there was when you start out on Earth and then Eternia would be a lot better.
One of the fan channels were talking about what they wanted to see in the film, and I put in the comments. I thought, a lot of people, of course, don't like the whole Earth thing, but a fun way to use it is the first time Adam holds the sword and he calls down the power, he gets a series of flashbacks showing that his mom was from Earth and that, where his origins came from, and showed flashes of Earth. but only there.
I mean, it'd be interesting if it's a
because Earth is important to the story because of the Queen. Like she's from Earth.
I mean, it would be cool, like if he was sent there as a child, let's just say, and he was actually, being fostered by her family. That would be a nice little,
the grandparents.
Nice little,
kind of like the end of
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, 3.
So
I mean, what if Queen Marlena's, or going off of that, what if Queen Marlena's father is played by Dolph?
That would be cool.
That would be kind of cool.
I could sign off. On
didn't we see something that he is?
Get Dolph and Meg Foster to play. The Queen's parents.
Still alive?
Yeah.
She was just so evil.
She was in.
She's 77.
Revolution. She was the Zor. Or no, not Zor. Screech. Or the motherboard.
Yeah.
Motherboard. Yeah.
So just to backtrack a little bit, because as previously discussed, I don't know anything about Motu lore. Prince Adam's mother is from Earth.
Yeah, she is a astronaut pilot. Yeah, she went into space and she got stuck in like a black hole teleport
time warp,
and it ended up throwing her to Eternia. And then Randor saw the crash, went out there, saved her. They fell in love. Yeah.
So I'm not paying attention to what.
So Adam's half human.
But I could like a lot of the images that we've seen have been leaked by the studio, correct? Or it's kind of
people
that they've been leaked by the studio.
They've been leaked.
Well, that's what I mean. Like they've intentionally been sort of allowed to come out because what if it, like I said, what if it's a red herring? What if it's a side quest that's 5 minutes of the movie? And everybody's kind of getting hung up on that, and so they're dissecting that and thinking, "Oh, it shouldn't be on Earth." Blah blah blah. And then you're going to get to the theater, and it's going to blow your mind because it's Eternia the way you want to see it, and they just have to go pick up some relic that old Maud left at home that now is somehow important.
Be like,
come
on, kid, you got the sword. We got to go to a portal. And what was that, Cap?
Oh, they've done a lot of filming like over in England, like castles and cathedrals or something. I'm not positive where they were, but they've shown a lot of pictures of it.
Maybe
so that has to be Eternia,
Castle Grayskull, maybe.
And
interior. I don't think they're all going over to England from where they're at.
I don't think that they would send Prince Adam to Earth to get the sword. I think the sword travels to Earth, and I think that it's going to be...
Yeah, I think they hit Adam and the sword there.
I think Sorceress sent the sword to Earth.
I don't... Or
maybe the sword itself. I mean,
none of us knows.
The sword itself is magically
powered. I suspect
He-Man
goes to Earth, and I suspect that it's a side quest just to, like, there'll be something. He's got to pick something up or meet somebody, or something like that. But it'll be integral to the story, but it won't be the movie.
And do you think they'll try to do the whole?
Maybe, right? Like maybe it's maybe there's like a funny callback to the 87 movie that like people just don't see coming, and that's the only reference to Earth. Like
they use the cosmic key, the portal there.
Maybe the cosmic key
or maybe when they open the portal, there's a faint background music and you can hear the cosmic key just to be like a little.
I think it could. I mean, everybody's getting down on the fact that he's, they show like Prince Adam, right? He's not full He-Man. They show Prince Adam in kind of Earth street clothes.
Yeah, but he's
also
wearing a pink shirt.
I know,
with like a white t-shirt underneath.
That's I don't like.
What
would they do it? Would they redo an origin story? Is kind of what I'm saying. Like, would they really do that to fans?
It would have added so much more filming, but I kind of wish that they started filming the Prince Adam parts before the actor got buff.
Yes. So many people have said that. That would make so much more sense.
When they first announced him, I was like, wait, he's going to be He-Man? And I mean, obviously in my head, I'm like, okay, he can bulk up. But like my first, like looking at him, that would be so cool because like,
the ones that we've seen. That's what
I saw him and I was like, oh, this guy will make a great Prince Adam. I wonder who they'll get to play He-Man. And I also kind of wonder, are they going to try to do the trope of Tila and the others not knowing Adam's He-Man, or are they just going to cut that out?
God, that was...
Because in a short film like this, and especially like Tila running through the streets with Adam with the power sword,
a lot of stuff out, I think.
Yeah.
You know?
Hopefully they just cut that whole thing out, because I get it, it's part of the original series, but it gets messy storytelling.
Now, like with talking about origins, like, you know, giving the backstory, I really hope they don't do that, because I mean, if anything, Fantastic Four and Superman have taught us you don't have to give us an origin. You can just go in with everything established, and fans will go for it.
Those films both are amazing.
My only criticism though of Fantastic Four, and I won't go into spoilers at all, but my only criticism of Fantastic Four is some of the stuff that we get right at the beginning. I wanted 20 minutes and I got 5 seconds.
They did go pretty quick.
And certain creatures and character. Yeah. I did like that for the most part. They kept in the whole mole man.
I love that they used. So again, not to be super spoilery, but they used such iconic sort of images in you know, the universe that they're using, like, and I love that they kind of kept it that sort of 60s 70s feel, because that's the original Fantastic Four, you know, had that feel to it, and I still think you know, it still has that even now. There's still, you know, certain runs with Fantastic Four that have that, like, I hate to say it, but sort of like naivete about them, where it harkens back to sort of a you know, maybe a less objective
more
view of the
innocent
world.
time.
Yeah, it's like there's an innocence to the Fantastic Four, being that it's family centric, and that it's always so internal. You know, it's always a lot of the struggle is between the family members.
You have the bickering brothers, even though they're not blood. You know, you got Ben and Johnny, and I mean that was always, I always loved that in the cartoon iterations and in the comics. You know, yeah, Sue and Reed. Of course, Reed being oblivious, the most brilliant guy on the planet, is oblivious to about half the things going on. So I mean, that's always been great, and I mean, we have seen other IPs try to go that route. Back in the 80s, we had the Bionic 6. I don't know if anyone remembers that cartoon. You know, you had a super powered family. You know, it's different. It's fun. It's cool. You know, and I think this is a really big departure, although for Marvel, but obviously they're going to be bringing them into the main MCU fold eventually. Obviously during Doomsday or Secret Wars, but
here's kind of what I wish. I kind of hope, like, they've been kind of talking about like rebooting the MCU and all that. Honestly, if they ever did do that,
there's talk about recasting a lot of people, but obviously they're going to do some kind of a reset.
With like that, have the reset, but have the Fantastic Four universe become the main universe, and we kind of get these 60s versions of
what if it is
all these heroes that we love.
I would love to see like the 60s X-Men.
Get Hawkeye with his actual mask on, and his like hover cycle, because like the Fantastic Four cars in the film, like give him his little like hover cycle and shit.
Yeah, but I kept waiting. Fantastic Four, they're the only heroes in that universe.
And along with that line is, that's kind of like a 60s modern-ish universe. That's kind of a mix. But when you do X-Men, because of what year it is now, you could say it's like an earlier time period, and you could still keep that core, like Magneto was in Auschwitz or whatever. Like, you can't do that now because obviously Magneto would be like 100 something. But if you did that in that universe, maybe you wouldn't have to change.
Them out of time. You could do different things.
What if?
I agree.
What if going forward? Maybe they haven't. What if they haven't said it? But what if going forward, the Marvel universe going forward is the 828 universe, not the 816 universe?
Yeah.
And it's not a reboot. It's not a reset. You're just seeing a different universe.
They just kind of switch universes.
Deadpool.
Focus more on
Deadpool. Yeah. Wolverine. I mean, Wolverine joins Deadpool's universe, so why not?
Because then they could do all that. They could recast everyone. They could we know that Robert Downey Jr. is Doom.
Yeah.
So maybe we don't have to fit that into the 816 universe. Maybe that's the 828 Doom is Robert Downey Jr. It's not
just happens to have a familiar
he's not
face.
Tony Stark. He's just, it's a different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know, but then you could have Reed an experiment that Reed has go wrong and sort of create a butterfly effect where it maybe creates mutants or something like that almost. Although in the Fantastic Four sort of 816 current comic book canon, Franklin is like an Omega level mutant, or is considered an Omega level. It changes, it goes back and forth, it gets retconned, but Franklin is an Omega level mutant. I think somebody is probably going to tell me actually.
Now, I haven't seen Fantastic Four, but I've seen a lot of leaked stuff. So I'm guessing maybe something along that line is why he's so tasty to Galactus.
Do you want the answer to that question?
I mean, I'm guessing that it has to have a connection right there. I mean, that's just
like,
Franklin.
In no way are they doing this in the film, but like in one of the comics, Franklin comes back from the future and makes Galactus his
DeLorean.
Like, no, Franklin can control reality.
Yeah. So he
he makes Galactus his herald. Takes Galactus' position.
Brought him back from the dead and then controlled him. But again, that's a comic, and not saying that it's going to happen in the film at all, or any film.
I would genuinely love, and they didn't do it with Fantastic Four. And again, I won't sort of point out specific things, but I would love for there to be like a Marvel universe, universe 1, where they just go, all these characters, but we're just going to do what we want and not rely on an existing story arc and not rely, the characters, so we're not going to give you the backstories of the X-Men, but the X-Men are going to be different. They're going to do different things. Like I think one of the issues
a what if universe
for the hardcore fans is that they don't, that it's like, well, that detail isn't exactly the same as it occurred in issue blah blah blah. So why not just sort of go clean slate and just write your own stories and kind of do your own thing? Like we're doing Endgame, we're doing Civil War, we're doing all these things that were done in the comics, which is great as fan service. But does the MCU at this point, does Marvel Comics movies not have the ability to draw an audience that isn't a hardcore comic book nerd? I feel like there's enough people that don't know anything about the comic books that would go and see a comic book Marvel movie that wasn't about the comic books. It was just a new story.
I converted my wife into being a Marvel fan, so every time there's a Marvel movie, She's like, "Oh, we're going to see this, right?" She's never read the comics, but I got her into Deadpool and Doctor Strange, and after that, she was hooked. So, I mean, yeah, there's the casuals out there who haven't read the comics. After a few years, like after they established the X-Men, after a couple years, I wouldn't mind seeing an Onslaught story told, but I'm not going to hold my breath on that one. I would love to see that.
Well, with all those two, the ones they're making, they just kind of put their own little spin on them too, though, right? I mean, they're not all, because I don't know much about comics, but like even like Civil War and like all these, they were comics, but they're not exactly the same. They're putting all their own little things in them.
Happening in like the X-Men '97 cartoon, they would definitely do like a Onslaught, especially considering where the season kind of went and how Magneto kind of.
I just think it would be cool to have like a whole arc of like 4 or 5, like a whole phase that's like, hey, just so that the comic book fans know, this is completely new, completely different. We're using your characters with, we're in this sandbox, but you've never seen this story before. Like, the quality of writing is there to write the next, story arc that people see in a movie and then go, oh, now I want the comic book version of that. I don't think it has to go comic book to movie anymore. I think they've grown beyond that, and I think that's what's holding them back in some respect.
As long as they generally keep the suits somewhat comic accurate, you can have creative things to do to it, but like,
be honest, you want the spandex. Be honest.
Yeah. I don't want the black leather
70s spandex outfits.
But I mean, like, Carol, imagine she always asks me about Marvel movies, and I'm like, everything I know is because I watch YouTube stuff, like what's the variant comics and stuff. Like they usually go back and talk about all the comics before a movie comes out. So
imagine if the comic books were just rewriting the comic book story and retelling the comic. That's not how it works, right? Like
years ago,
people want new stories. People want new. Well, they don't. People complain all the time when new characters get introduced in Marvel. So I take that back. But if you do it well, I think there's an openness and an eagerness for that. And again, because we're talking about the MCU, we're talking about the movie universe. Mm-hmm. I think the audience is already there. You just have to give them the characters that they want. You don't have to give them stories that they've seen before.
Like years ago, must have been almost like 10 years ago or so. I think like Dr. Pepper and a bunch of soda companies had a promotion where some of the under the cap, you got like a free code for like a month's worth of Marvel comics, and I had collected enough of them and they eventually had to turn off the whole thing because of this reason. I accumulated 3 years worth of the Marvel comic sub, and I read so much.
Say what's up to Steve real quick. Steve just popping in.
So I just texted him too, so must be telepathic.
Probably why he's on.
Yeah, but I didn't tell him I was coming on until after I came on. Then I texted him, and then anyway, telepathic.
And I was like, "Oh, Kid's here early," but I forgot we started later. And
yeah, I'm actually here a bit later.
I thought too.
Yeah,
I usually are. Yeah, so it is early for you.
Sort of. Yeah. I was just thinking about the Marvel Cinematic Universe the other day, and I don't know what it is for me. It was basically Infinity War and then the Spider-Man films, and then I kind of like lost interest completely. Like WandaVision was kind of fun.
The phase directly after Endgame was kind of hit or miss.
Because the pride and joy of my collection used to be my
Marvel. We're talking about it.
Well, yeah, because like my Marvel, like I went through a phase from like 2013 to about 2016 where I went really heavy on Hot Toys. I wasn't buying a lot of other modern toys. I was barely buying anything vintage. I would just buy a Hot Toys every couple of months, and that's what I would do. Now I look at the collection, I'm like, does this still mean something to me? It's too nice to sell, but I haven't displayed it. I haven't looked at it in like years. So it's just sitting in my garage in a massive stack, and I'm just going like, man, I used to care so much about this stuff, and now I'm kind of like going a little downhill with it. I don't know what happened. Right? Had a bit of a resurgence with the vintage stuff, and I kind of forgot about it. I don't know whether to feel bad about it, good about it. Like, anyway. Sorry to throw that at you guys, but you're talking MCU, and that was literally on my mind this morning.
Now, everything like leading up to Infinity War and all that, everything was like so connected at that time. And then for this whole multiverse, it's just been all over the place here and there. And like we were talking about earlier, like the end credit scenes, how they're just don't lead to anything. Or $8 like 3 or 4 years later, when in that first saga, we had pretty much every end credit scene would lead into the next movie, and you knew what to expect. And then you get your team up film, and then.
But see, that's where it also
had
came
any
back and bit them in the ass.
These ones coming.
They spend so much time trying to set up. They spend so much time trying to set up the next film that they don't really do a complete cohesive story to the film they're currently working on.
What I said to Cobb before we were live was that when you're dealing with the MCU, whether it's a movie or an episode of a TV show, you're only getting an episode. You're not getting the beginning, the middle, and the end. So the format for how they make their movies is actually kind of off. It's kind of weird, and people have developed a taste for the format that the MCU has kind of created.
Yeah,
and so people complain. People complain about movies almost because they're not MCU movies, like because it doesn't follow the format of an MCU movie. And I was like, the vast majority of movies don't work the way those ones do.
You know, the one thing I do want to hear from other people and ask is that from the Hulk and Iron Man movies in 2008 all the way up until not Infinity War, but what came after Infinity War? Or was that the last Avengers movie, Infinity War?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So up until Infinity War in 2019, that 11-year gap, have those movies become classic, or have they been kind of tainted because the MCU meandered so much?
No, classic.
Classic. Okay.
Yeah, everybody holds on to that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing that I've been waiting on for like the longest time is I actually, like, after we had Endgame and everything, I enjoyed Shang-Chi. But we haven't gotten, like, that's been how many years now?
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing. I'm hoping he's gonna, we're gonna see him pop up for, whatchamacallit, for either Doomsday or Secret Wars.
Same thing with that too. The end credit scene for that one was rings had beacons on, something was going on with them, and I never heard another thing out of it. It was supposed to maybe connect to like Kang or something at one point.
Or no, like I think was it similar? Were they supposed to be similar to? I think they're supposed to be connection to like the Bengals from like Miss Marvel and also a few other things. And I would have loved to have seen that, but that never happened. It was like that, and you had the karaoke scene with Wong. I mean, it was like these were very likable characters. It almost felt like kind of like Iron Man, the first one. We weren't dealing with like an Omega level world-ending threat. It was just, it was more, it was more kind of subdued. I shouldn't say subdued, but it wasn't that big of a, wasn't that super of a threat. But that was a fun ass movie for me. It was a fun adventure movie. Especially when you get what's her name, Aquafina, I think her name is, the actress that played like his kind of like friend / love interest. You were seeing everything through her eyes, although he already knew about his his family and everything. We finally see what happened to Travis Slattery, Ben Kingsley's character. Mm-hmm. It was just a fun, awesome movie. and it was kind of opening the magic side of things, the mystical side, which we don't get that much. And for me, I was like, wait a minute, what's going to happen? I mean, they could have even done a Disney Plus series. They could have done something, but we never got that. And not even seeing them not even like a blink and you'll miss it in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, because you would have thought that maybe they might have been training, but just nothing.
That movie honestly was
Wade saying about team up movies. You guys heard about everybody that's supposed to be in that new Spider-Man movie now? There's a ton of people announced for it. There's Punisher's going to be in it.
Hulk, Punisher.
Hulk's going to be in it.
Heard Daredevil.
They're bringing back the guy that from the first Spider-Man that they teased at the end that was going to be Scorpion. He's going to be in it now.
Gargan.
I forget who else. Sounds like a lot of people in. Possibly, I know somebody was talking about maybe even having Daredevil in it at some point, but he's not confirmed. But I know Punisher and Hulk are both confirmed to be in it now.
I heard there was speculation that something's going to happen where Bruce reverts back from Professor Hulk to Rage Hulk, and it's supposed to be like Punisher and Daredevil are supposed to be helping Spidey to try and contain him.
Yeah, see, Daredevil's not confirmed yet, but I thought he would probably be in because he was in that one Spider-Man movie. That's when he first came back, when he was just.
Yeah, but his memory will be affected though by that because. He knew at that time Peter's identity was revealed, but now everything's been snapped around. So who knows what reality if Matt Murdock retains any knowledge? So it's going to be interesting to see how they handle that. I did like the suit reveal that they did. It looks very much, looks very Tobey Maguire-esque, the suit does.
With the
raised up spider web.
Obviously, he was taking cues from his Spider Bros. Although it's not the same exact suit that I think we saw at the end, the final swing suit that they showed, because it definitely looks like it's more. The blue's a little bit more subdued, It wasn't that bright electric blue that they teased at the end of the movie. Although Hot Toys, obviously those are kind of hard to find. The final swing of Hot Toys.
Peter will go black suit and everybody will freak. Well, that's part of like Secret Wars too, right? Like in the comics, when he first got his black suit.
No, people will freak when he starts dancing. When he has a black suit, there you go.
My kids were watching Into the Spider-Verse today.
That's great.
That opening sort of, I'm Peter Parker, and he's talking about how he's like the original one that sort of dies right at the beginning. Spoiler alert. And he dances down the sidewalk, and like the kids are laughing, and I'm like, if you only knew, like, they've never seen those Spider-Man movies, so they have no idea what that reference is. But
that was so weird at that time.
It was so weird. Yeah.
That was what, 23 years ago? I think. Was 2002?
That's so
I wouldn't say you're wrong. That sounds about right.
I know, right?
Oh, the original Toby movies, 2002. Yeah.
Jesus, man, that's so crazy. Thinking about how
it was same year as Attack of the Clones.
Spider-Man 3 when he had the black suit, that was 2007. So yeah.
Because the MCU started in 2008.
Yep.
Right? So, yeah.
Yep.
Actually, that brings up another question, or not a question, but sort of like another sort of, wrinkle in all of this. Is that Spider-Man's still owned by Sony, right? So there's still the rights and the weirdness of while Spider-Man is in the MCU, the Spider-Man movies are sort of co-productions with
Sony. Yeah.
Sony having to sign off on them, and so they can't go full Spider-Man in some respects.
Well, there's some villains that they like. I think they can't actually have, at least currently with their current agreement, they can't do a Kingpin story as of yet.
Yeah, he can't be in a movie.
Yeah.
But he was part of Daredevil. But yeah,
well, they
I
can't.
know
They can't use Kingpin with
like
Spider-Man.
that line
they have used Kingpin.
For somehow,
they could
some
use
reason
him on a TV show, but not in a movie.
For some reason, I thought that after the Andrew Garfield movies, they weren't going to make any more movies through Sony. I thought the rights reverted back to Marvel, and that's how they were able to get them for Civil War. I didn't realize that Sony still had the rights.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Sony still owns the Spider-Man rights, but Marvel can get special permission to use Spider-Man, but
I guess
the Spider-Man movies aren't on Disney Plus; they're on Netflix.
I guess that's why.
Or it depends on your region, but
I mean, I'm guessing maybe the MCU probably had to grow to a certain level for Sony to be like, okay, we're going to take you seriously now, and we're going to let you take Spider-Man.
I think they had to grow to a certain financial level.
That's what I mean. The financials behind
it. And right? I think Sony's like, well, let's see. Every time we try to do a Marvel movie with properties that we own, they don't seem to perform that well. I mean, don't get me wrong. My wife is a big Venom fan, thanks to Tom Hardy, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed the first one. The second one, I felt like it kind of fell short, especially how they, spoiler alert, killed off Carnage and Cletus. I mean, they could have stretched that out for a couple films. It just felt like things were falling a bit flat, I have not seen Madam Web. After all the reviews, I just couldn't bring myself to see it. And everything I've heard from it. It just seems like Sony needs to realize they can't exactly win, because the last successful superhero movie that they did, or Marvel superhero movie, was the Tobey series, Tobey and Andrew. But they always did that kind of a weird formula. It's like, okay, whatever number movie this is, we have to have that many villains in it. Right?
They also could never get it to stick to the point where they didn't reboot it.
Yeah.
Like that's why there's the multiverse Spider-Man in No Way Home, right? Is because there were already two Spider-Mans that definitely did not have the traction that Tom Holland's MCU Spider-Man has. Tobey Maguire by the third one, it was dead. Garfield didn't even get a third movie. And I thought Andrew Garfield was a great Spider-Man. Great Peter Parker. I thought he was charming and kind of like clumsy and like.
He was my favorite. Okay, believe it or not, Andrew Garfield, he was my favorite. I do take him over Tobey. Hot take, I know, but that's how I feel about it. But also,
Tobey's okay.
The second movie, they totally screwed up the storyline.
Yes, yeah.
Especially with that deleted scene or that end credit scene where like it was supposed to be his father showing up at the grave, that his dad's actually alive. You can't do that kind of stuff. Like that would totally unravel everything. And I don't blame Andrew for having the hate that he had with Sony,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just they can't keep it consistent rhythm going on to make it successful. So hey, be like, hey, yeah, we will share custody with Marvel / Disney. We'll let them do the heavy lifting, and we'll make the money off of it. That would be the smart thing to do.
Marvel has Tom Holland's Marvels, right? And then Sony came and used Tom Holland on their own for anything. So I think that's why they're talking about at one point maybe even trying to do a third Andrew movie, because that's like what they have rights to.
Why would they? I mean,
they want to do something
like it.
I mean, I would love to see it, especially when during No Way Home, how he said at one point he stopped pulling his punches. Give me a rage-filled Andrew story. Give us Spider-Man, down on his luck and just, just being fed up.
And
I
Andrew
would love
Garfield.
that.
Andrew Garfield as an actor, I think to me is the most compelling, most dynamic Peter Parker.
He's got so much range as an actor.
Yes.
Okay.
I think he's a fantastic actor. I wanted more Andrew Garfield.
Not that Toby doesn't, but Toby's always been that kind of likable, lovable kind of like
he's too cuddly and like I don't see any. There's
Cider House Rules.
There's nothing in his eyes that indicates to me that he's on the verge of.
But
tearing.
Andrew Garfield has done so much stuff though that he's just. I mean, he's done some great films. That just it's. I mean, yeah, I want to see his. I loved his Peter Parker. He was the smart kind of, kind of a hip, kind of a hip, cool. He was a cooler Peter Parker, but it just to me that was like because you had Sally Field as his Aunt May, which was awesome. She was great. You had what was his name? Martin Sheen as his Uncle Ben. I mean, that was just it was hitting all the right notes, and to me, as I just loved his feel. And the thing was, I hated when they unveiled what his the first movie, what the suit was going to look like. I'm like, this isn't Spider-Man, but it grew on me. How the suit was just like it was a complete departure from everything. I mean, don't get me wrong, it wasn't a pair of sweats with a ski mask, Toby. It wasn't anything like that. But I mean. No, I would definitely say, hey, sign me up for one or two Andrew movies. I would love to see, him down a dark path, and maybe him. You do a story where it's him in his dark path, and then the next one, if they did a second one, it's him after he came across Tom Holland and Toby, and maybe he retains that memory. And it kind of gives him a little bit of a light in the tunnel.
It's asking about and it end with him being forgotten and alone, and it gets set up for Angry Black Suit live action Miles. Yeah, and that's another thing. That Miles, they're not going to be able to do him live action until after the third.
I get where Wade's coming from with that. I get where his thought is coming from because, in No Way Home, there's a scene where after Jamie Foxx is healed, when he's cured, he says, "Hey, I always, I thought, with the swagger, you would have been black." He's like, "Oh, I'm sure there's a black Spider-Man out there." It's kind of a toss-away line because you got that, right?
Yeah.
And of course,
what was it? His uncle was in there, right?
His uncle was in the first one. Because when Tom Holland's like suits like a really deep voice, and obviously it's fake, and that's supposed to be his uncle because he makes a reference to a nephew, and that was supposed to be him. So I mean, I could see where that's coming from. But yeah, about him being forgotten alone. I mean, basically Peter Parker didn't exist per se. That's why he's doing the GED. He's got the GED book because obviously, if no one knows who he is, because he wanted everyone to forget who Peter Parker was, which means school systems. He's going to have to hack himself so he has a social security number. I mean, there's it was pretty dire, but it was a perfect reset because he was being supplied by Stark Industries. Tony was looking out for him, hooking him up with the latest tech. Now we get the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man as he should be. Street level. He's going to be trying to make ends meet so he can afford to make his webbing. This is comic book Spider-Man. So I'm psyched for what they're going to do next. And I'm also looking forward to the third installments in the Spider-Verse movies. Although they keep getting delayed.
It got bumped. I think it's 2027 now, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, or even
and I I feel bad for that because the further away you push the sequel, people are going to forget all about it unless they do some kind of a re-release, maybe 6 to 8 months beforehand. Do like the double features at the theaters so families can take the kids out and they can rewatch it, and to kind of reacclimate themselves to, hey, this is coming out, and maybe have like a special 5 or 10 minute teaser at the end of the double
I'm
feature
like
or
that.
something like that.
Every TV show and everything now, it takes so long for another season of something to come out. By the time something comes out, I'm like, I don't even remember the last season. Oh, I gotta go back and rewatch stuff. Let's hear Frank. Frank just joining us, looks like. What's up, brother?
I just saw Wade's comment below that.
Yeah.
Man, bro, dude.
That's a bad take. That's a bad take. Sorry.
I mean, I can think of a couple other characters I wouldn't mind seeing her pull off.
I would love to see her in there. Yeah, for sure. I mean,
she hasn't been a blonde since before she went to goth look for WWE. Hell, what's her name? Her adversary. I'm trying to think of the blonde girl. I can't think of her name right now.
Liv Morgan.
Liv would be a good Gwen Stacy.
Yes.
I think pick anybody that's a professional wrestler at that level, and they could step into the MCU, no problem.
You think Liv over Alexa Bliss?
Ooh.
For Gwen Stacy?
I don't think either of them. I would pick somebody like.
Yeah.
I don't think either of them for that. I think pick those characters for sort of like side heroes or side villains, but not for civilians.
Alexa Bliss as Felicia Hardy.
I don't know who that is.
Again,
Black Cat.
Well, she becomes Black Cat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see them more as like.
I think Alexa
thugs and stuff like that. I think they're perfect for stuff like that. I don't like.
But they're relatively short, right? Like I think Alexa's relatively short. I think so is Liv.
Yeah, Black Cat.
So
you want to
Black
be
Cat, you need
longer, more elegant.
You need tall. Yeah, you need the you need the Stacy Keibler height for that.
And right? I think you need. I think
those
Black Cat too. Just because if you're gonna get Black Cat, you really want to have a lot of chemistry between the actor and the actress.
Yeah, Alexa's only 5'1".
I've talked about they're bringing in that girl from Stranger Things is going to be in it too. The redhead girl from there. I don't know her name.
I know who you're talking about.
Oh yeah.
Speculating that she'd be Black Cat.
Yeah,
they do have. Let's say, what is it? Bryce Howard was the first.
Bryce Dallas.
Yeah.
She was what?
Yeah. She red hair to white hair as Gwen Stacy, and then
in the third one, in the third Spider-Man.
Yep. What was her name? Emma Stone went from red hair to white hair for it. So they're talking about me that girl from Stranger Things is going to be another
Sadie Sink.
Sadie Sink, yeah. She was also in Fear Street. The Fear Street
from red hair to white hair.
Yeah.
They're saying that she could be an actual Mary Jane, because the other MJ is not technically a Mary Jane, so she's coming in as some form of Mary Jane.
She's only 5'3".
That could be an interesting spin, hey? Like
Sadie Sink is 5'3".
Well, let's see how tall Liv Morgan is.
Liv is 5'3" as well.
Tom Holland's short though too.
I just checked all the heights.
Man, at this rate, I should be in a superhero film at this rate. I'm a full 5'6". You know,
I'm 6 foot, man. So, but no, I remember someone, I forgot who it was. They were spouting these crazy theories that she was going to be like Sadie Sink was going to be like a futuristic, like she might have been like Peter's daughter from the distant future, or for an alternate timeline, another multiverse. So she would be like Spider Girl kind of thing. But who? I mean, that I was like, that was pretty far fetched in my book. But you know, like,
I mean, we got a multiverse. We've got. Do we have time travel in the MCU yet? We do, don't we?
Yeah, Captain America went back in time to take the stones. Remember? So he did that, and of course, he stayed his butt back in time, so he could have his, you know, his Peggy. So yeah.
So they, I mean, they've kind of opened.
We do have time travel. It was a time
opened
heist.
every door that we need opened for there to be any sort of what if possibility.
We don't have clones yet that we know of.
We're talking about Peter have another story going on, like another love interest, and I saw a thing today about the MCU maybe trying to do another love interest just in case something happens with Tom Holland and Zendaya. If they ever break up in the future.
Well, supposedly, come 2027, Tom Holland wants to take a break from acting and I'm guessing that may be them getting married in real life.
But that would be easy enough to work around. You just have him shoot.
But I think he wants to do that as maybe he'll take that'll be like his excuse, be like, hey, you know, I want to take a break, and he just wants to, because I get that he's obviously he probably was just filming back to back with Secret Wars and Doomsday, and he's filming the new Spider-Man movie. So I'm like, obviously he's probably at a point where like, hey, I just want to stop doing press junkets for maybe a year or two. Just let me just kind of like, you know, catch my breath and see what happens. So.
Well, Wade said that too about Rhea for Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones is coming back actually in the next.
Yeah, Kristen Ritter.
Yeah, so she'll be back.
Yes. But I mean, you know, when they do the reboots, the reset for Marvel for the MCU, I mean, yeah, you could have alternate people, and I mean, you know, hell, Rhea could play a lot of different characters.
Wasn't it in the comic books there is kind of a reboot after Secret Wars?
I believe so.
They brought in that other universe, the Ultimates universe, and put everything together. So they were all in one universe.
I mean, we've seen that happen. I mean, DC's done it so many times with Crisis. So, yeah, I mean, the MCU did it a few times as well. So, yeah, I could definitely see something like that happening. And plus, with like some actors who are either aging out or who might be developing, you know, having more health issues. Because I know, was it whatchamacallit, Hemsworth? I forgot what illness he has, but he's dealing with something. That's why he hasn't been doing that many films, or he's been doing voice work for a lot of stuff.
It might be another actually, but I think he has genetic markers that suggest that he could develop Alzheimer's.
I think you're right.
I don't think he has it, but I think that was the big thing, was like now that they can sort of see what might cause it, and so he has the genetic markers. He has a high probability that he will have it.
Revealed recently that he has an increased risk of developing Alzheimer's disease due to the genetic predisposition. He carries 2 copies of the APOE4 gene. But he's been doing like a lot of health stuff to, like, I guess, to try and prevent that if he can help it. But yeah.
But I think he was. I think he had fulfilled his MCU contract, and he came back for more.
Yeah, I forgot who it was that said it. They said that basically he can play Thor for however long he wants. So if he wants to keep playing it,
I think that's probably true of a lot of them.
And I mean, hell, I mean, we've had young Thor, we've had fat Thor, you know, we've had, you know, one-eyed Thor. I mean, he can keep playing it till he's 90. You know, I mean, I don't know how many more films we're going to get Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, but you know, still.
Yeah, he was done, and Ryan Reynolds was like, "What about one more?"
Well, no. What did you hear the actual story though that happened with that?
K-Dog
he had announced.
Yeah, I already said hi to him.
he had announced his retirement, that he wasn't going to play Wolverine anymore, and then he saw Deadpool, the first one, and he's like, maybe I did that decision too drastic." And eventually they came up with the storyline, and he was down for it. So I mean, I love it. I mean, don't get me wrong, the guy can still pull off Wolverine.
I don't know that he'll
within
be back
reason.
I think that might be it. I think
like after Doomsday, and because rumor has it he's going to be a part of that.
But I could see him having like a cameo more
and then
than
maybe passing it on to someone else.
Talk about a second Deadpool and Wolverine movie. Pretty sure that he's gonna be coming back. Maybe do that.
And I mean,
I'm kind of.
And if
probably in the minority of nerds, but I'm kind of over the Deadpool thing now.
Well, I mean, he's the one that breaks the fourth wall, and I think it was Trey actually said that he thinks that Deadpool's actually going to play a crucial part in the whole reboot. I can see that happening. I mean,
I see why Thor was crying for Deadpool.
I mean, we didn't just get Wolverine into Deadpool's universe. We also got X-23. So,
yeah, I mean, anything is possible. I
mean, hell, we had Wesley come back as Blade. Anything's possible.
That was Old Man Logan.
I would like. I mean, we got Logan, so I don't know that we need Old Man Logan. Although I have heard that they're looking at like that universe, like for Hulk stuff, or that sort of timeline. That
can they make a Hulk film now? Because my understanding is they don't have the distribution rights.
No, they can't make a Hulk. He always has to be in somebody else's film.
Yeah.
But I think if you did it as like an Old Man Logan and Hulk and Hawkeye and like there could be, what would you call it? I don't know, but I mean
Old Man Logan.
Yeah, so I guess you'd have to have him in
grumpy old Avengers.
Not a Hulk film.
It's perfect for a swan song for Hugh Jackman.
But he's not done. Like he's not done as an actor. He's done as
obviously I mean the Wolverine character. Like it's a good swan song for his Wolverine character.
Yeah, right? I mean when you're playing a character that doesn't age and you're aging, it's which movies you could like. I thought Logan
He's still aged.
I thought Logan was fantastic because they leaned into the fact that Hugh Jackman was older. And making an R-rated Wolverine movie was, I think, not somebody that most people saw coming, and they executed it, I think, about as perfectly as they possibly could have. Fantastic movie, beautifully contained story
with a clone of Logan in it. So yeah, I guess we have had cloning.
But they've said that it isn't.
Although that was Fox.
MCU.
That was Fox, so
because it was Fox. Yeah, that's pre-merger. So there, because I was thinking, okay, but wait, we have X-23, but the MCU, the Disney Marvel universe doesn't have any clones, or do they? Because I guess you got X-23 in Deadpool. So then it's like I said, they've opened all the doors to allow for any, scenario to effectively be tied back to something. We've got time travel.
You don't even need to recast or create a new Wolverine because we already kind of have that with X-23. Laura, she could continue that lineage,
Do you guys read the comic books? Are you reading current continuity comic books at all?
Unfortunately, no.
I'm reading a bit of the Energon universe, but even that I'm like a year behind.
So the Wolverine mantle, like the title of the Wolverine, is about to be taken over by a new character. So I could see it. I could see X-23 not being X-23, but X-23 being Wolverine in the next phase of the MCU, which I would be totally.
I even heard people talking about like Hugh Jackman even like keep him on as like a leadership role for the new X-Men. Like a father figure for him, and have all these new younger actors play X-Men.
Kind of like Isaiah Bradley helping to train Sam Wilson, like in Brave New World. Yeah, I could definitely see something like that. You know,
I don't think you need it. I mean, I feel like that's fan service to some extent. Like, get actors to play cool characters. I don't think that I don't know. I'm not saying kill off characters, but some of them it's like, they've done what they need to do. They've been doing it for 20 years.
Because I mean,
20 years,
hell,
some of them
they're going to have
like,
Patrick Stewart and most of the original X-Men for like, I think, was it Doomsday or is it Secret Wars? But then afterwards, they're like, yeah, we're going to have to recast it. But then again, you got the guy who played young version of him, who's getting older, and you can just have him play older Professor X. You know, I mean,
fantastic actor.
That's how I would do it. McAvoy,
James McAvoy,
yeah. I mean, he was great, and so was Fassbender as Magneto. I mean, they both killed it. So,
they really did.
I just realized too, in terms of recasting, within the MCU proper, within the Marvel Disney MCU, we've now had 2 Reed Richards.
Yes, we have. We had John Krasinski in Multiverse of Madness,
and now Pedro.
Yeah.
So I go back to the idea that like, what if going forward we're just in a different universe? We don't like, so you don't have to justify the recasting. You say these are not the same. Well,
look at Superman. Isn't Superman for DC? Isn't that a whole new universe?
Well,
they don't have multiverse.
Did you guys? No, they actually do. James Gunn said that there's like 100 different universes. James Gunn says there's 100 universes right now, so there could be 100 different Supermen, which does open the door for like a Cavill or a Brandon Routh to emerge and other Supermen to appear.
Is that just not a convenient way of saying forget what you know about DC movies?
Well, pretty much. I mean, there's the whole Crisis on Infinite Earths, which has been done. Actually, I think done very well in live action when they did the whole Arrowverse.
Yeah,
but that's just my opinion. Yeah. But also, a couple years ago, there was talk of a Michael B. Jordan Superman movie because there is a Black Superman universe out there. So I mean, that opens up the floodgate for a million different things. Hell, even a a Nicolas Cage Superman, which we almost got. And no, I don't count that movie called The Flash that came out a year or 2 ago, which I call Batman meets Supergirl. But I mean, it opens up a lot of possibilities. I mean, hell, you could have Shaq make a cameo as Steel. I wouldn't pay to see that, but I mean, hell, anything's possible.
I'm gonna throw a curveball here. For those who did read Crisis on Infinite Earths, and you had the Earth 2 Superman who was from the Golden Age, he was the older Superman, right? Would it be a bastardization if they CG'd or CGI or whatever it is, the technology CGI'd a Christopher Reeve in there to play that role of the older Superman in Earth 2 as the Golden Age Superman, and they did a Crisis on Infinite Earths with this, what's the actor's name? Like David Corenswet?
Corenswet, yeah.
Corenswet, yeah. Would that be too much of a bastardization?
I don't think so. I mean, because obviously,
I don't think it's necessary.
I mean, that's
how you pull it off, though, if you did Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah, but right? I don't think you're talking about multiverses. You don't have to, like, if there's 1,000 universes, you don't have to pull from a universe that exists. You could cast somebody that looks like him and kind of pay fan service in that respect. But the de-aging thing and the AI thing, I
guess at that point you may as well go with Brandon Routh at that point.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, you have Supermans that are alive that you can just hire that actor.
Because technically Superman Returns was supposed to be a follow-up to Superman 4, wasn't it? Like, they existed in the same universe, right?
I think that's why they didn't have a backstory for him and stuff. I think
the way that I view Superman Returns is more of as if part 3 and 4 didn't take place, and it was kind of continuing after part 2 because with 2 he was mortal and he hooked up with Lois, and it turns out that Lois's child, when he returns to Earth, is the age that their child would have been, and that's his son. So that's how I kind of viewed it. But yes, I loved when Arrowverse did the Crisis on Infinite Earths, and they made him Kingdom Come.
Yeah, and I think
Superman.
people are.
That was great.
Oh wait, when did they do Kingdom Come Superman?
Well, they did him as King, and when he Arrowverse did the whole Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Oh, they cast Brandon Routh for that.
Because he was already the Atom, but they cast him as an alternate Earth.
They had Dean
Superman.
Cain in there too.
No, really? They didn't have Dean. No, not Dean Cain, but they had Tom Welling from Smallville.
Oh yeah.
Smallville.
Yeah.
Oh, so they used Brandon Routh as the Kingdom Come Superman? Because that'd be awesome. I never saw it. So I read Kingdom Come. That's like my favorite book.
Yeah, right? they had him in like his Clark Kent, and he's obviously his world. He lost Perry, he lost Lois because he's the editor of the planet.
Right.
He lost Jimmy. Right. He lost everybody. And when he dons his suit, he's got the red or the blue suit, but he's got the black background on the Kingdom Come symbol. And there's a scene where he actually comes face to face with the Atom. So they're facing each other. So that was a fun little thing that they did. But yeah,
there's people in the chat sort of talking about that, and it's fairly easy to find it. They did it across all
Netflix.
The CW series.
Netflix has all the shows.
Episodes. Yeah.
Oh, really?
The episodes. It's like 4 or 5 or maybe 6 episodes. How many episodes?
Really?
Okay.
It was about 4 or 5 of them because that was also the
Arrow. Watch.
That was Arrow's swan song. So that was the final.
Because I watch Arrow up season. I watch Arrow up to season 3 when he has his duel with Ra's al Ghul, and then I stopped at that point. Okay. That's as far as I got with Arrow. I never watched Flash.
I feel like the irony is that the CW did
DC better than
anyone's ever done it, and no one gives them credit for it.
No,
except for people
even
that watch
Stephen Amell. Well, Stephen Amell, who is the star of Arrow, he says, "Hey, we did it better than half the stuff that they've been pumping out."
Yeah.
And the really sad thing was that's also why they didn't do a Batman in that Arrowverse, because they're doing the movies. You had the Chris Nolan movies.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and hell, even their Superman, Tyler Hoechlin, and they spun that onto an alternate universe series called Superman and Lois, and so many people raved about that. It was,
Well,
and that's another thing. It'd be great to see him on a big screen as a Superman at some point. If they do a multiverse, if they did a Crisis on Infinite Earths, you could let him come back.
Well,
I think as far as de-aging and as far as like you just going back to what you were saying, Ken, like as far as de-aging and all that kind of stuff, when it's necessary, then I still don't like it, but I understand it.
So you're talking something like Tarkin in Rogue One or something like that. Because that's where I got the idea. But I'm like, I wonder what other people think.
But
because I wasn't crazy because I wasn't crazy about the idea. But I'm like, but it is an idea that someone's gonna bring up at some point in time. So let's just hear what people have to say.
There's still, if you watch it on a decent TV, there's still an uncanny valley aspect to that CGI de-aged Tarkin, and I just think that it's not necessary for something like this. I just think that it's I think it's also I will say this too, as somebody that is friends with a lot of creatives who do, sculpting and stuff like that, and like the idea of using AI to create somebody that isn't there.
Yeah,
I don't like it. I just don't.
Yeah,
I know that it exists and that the technology is good, but just get somebody. That will look the part and sort of, and in the press junket be like, we wanted somebody to represent Christopher Reeve's Superman, not Christopher Reeves, right? But like represent the Christopher Reeves era of Superman, and here's the actor that we chose because we feel like he's a good sort of stand-in. But there's enough CGI in movies as it is. I don't
get
like
that because like the Flash movie, when they did their version of it, you saw a very bad CGI version of Nick Cage. You saw a very bad CGI version of Chris Reeve and Helen Slater as Superman and Supergirl. It was just really bad. If you're pumping so much money, you can do better special effects because I've seen better CGI on some TV shows than what they did in that damn movie. So I can definitely agree with Adam on that. But like, I mean, would it be cool to see? Yeah, it is going to be fan service. If it helps pursue the storyline, then I'm all for it. But like you said, Brandon Routh.
Yeah. Or Dean Cain, right? Yeah. If they've already gone to Brandon Routh, Ralph. You may as well go with Dean Cain if you're trying to get that Superman Earth 2 much older Superman, right?
Yeah, because I mean, like when they did Crisis in the Arrowverse, they actually gave him some gray in his hair.
Yeah.
So he was looking the part. So they were giving him gray in his hair.
Though. That was the
no, he's not. Yeah, it was definitely weird because, I mean, like right now he is starting to get a little some grays in his hair now, but he's, but I mean, like that's the thing. It's like, it's like you can get people. I mean, we know, and even if they were to do a CGI, we know that his family, Reeves' family, would sign off on it because couple things. One, we know that they obviously had to sign off on his likeness when the Flash movie did what they did. Second, his son actually signed off on the new Superman movie and even has a part as one of the newscasters doing the story. Because that's what he is now. He's actually a TV journalist.
But I guess what you're saying is you don't need to do fan service for the sake of fan service. Our leveled up intelligence as viewers has gone past the point where that's actually a good idea. And for some people, like you look at the chat, that was never a good idea, even with Tarkin, right? But the tech exists, so you may as well. I mean, someone's gonna ask the question. I may as well take the flak for it right now.
I mean,
right?
Even with Tarkin, I mean, they've also done that with Princess Leia a couple times because in Rogue One, that was her daughter. Yeah.
So, I mean, but they needed to do that, like Adam was saying. That's necessary.
That's an in-universe reference of a character, and it's kind of like that one's those are hard ones because it's sort of like, you're talking about
done right. And that's what it comes down to is the execution and also what is it doing for the story. I mean, it can't just be like, hey, look at me. It can't just be, hey, look at me over here. It should be something that furthers the plot.
I think Leia and Tarkin in Rogue One were both necessary. Because it literally takes place.
He is. Yeah, he is.
On the ship that Leia's on in A New Hope. Like you can't, like if you're gonna do the scene, it has to be Leia.
Yeah.
And Tarkin, within the lore, within the novels, within everything, it's Tarkin. Like Tarkin is the guy for the Death Star. So
and he has such a look to him too. Like it's hard to get.
And believe it or not, the actor that they had, I'm pretty sure they tweaked his voice, but like it's all the lines that he delivered, and they sound almost bang on. Like I think online you can find the behind the scenes kind of like how he moved, how he spoke, and all that kind of stuff, and it's 90%. So they kind of like tweaked it and put a spin on it.
Do you know what they do with who they said they take a bunch of clips of their voices and put it into like a generator, and then
now
when they go to do the voices,
that's a slippery slope because there's now voice actors. With the whole AI thing, right? The first people that were speaking up against AI were people that create art because you can plug in prompts and get AI to give
video game voice actors, anyone who does any kind of animation. I mean, because
they did
it's
that
their
with Luke
likeness.
Skywalker. A lot of Luke in the Mandalorian when they had Luke Skywalker, we didn't even have straight up.
The first one that they did when like Luke boards that ship and he takes out all those the Dark Troopers, that was really bad. That was bad CGI on his part. But then they did a little bit better.
The voice for that too. A voice generator. A lot of his old stuff.
Yeah, and it doesn't. Really him. It's off.
Voice.
But then when they did Luke training Grogu, that was actually Mark Hamill there on set.
De-age,
and they did a lot of de-aging for that. So I mean, at least they did it there. But yeah. I mean, it's definitely a weird slope because like, think of like, okay, it's one thing like if an actor says, hey, you know, like I'm going to use Kevin Conroy, okay. To me, he will always be Batman. If I'm reading a novel or if I'm reading a comic book, I still hear his voice as Batman. It's just a thing. Yeah. Now, for someone like him, who he didn't have kids or anything, like I could see if an actor says, "Hey, I'm willing to sign over rights for you to use my vocal likeness after I pass, and only after I pass." As long as proceeds go to maybe a family or a charity or whatever. I could see something like that. But you get a lot of companies who are like, hey, we're going to pay you. Like, I'm going to use Power Rangers for an example. David Fielding, who was Zordon, he got paid $150 for a couple hours work for the video image of his face. And that was it. Okay. Now, that was non-union, of course, but that's the thing. They didn't pay him for extra work afterwards. And that's a big problem. I mean, that's what people are worried about. Like, hey, if I do like 3 hours of dialogue, you pay me, let's say, $1,000. Well, now that you have all that dialogue, you can jumble that dialogue around with the computer and make my voice say anything you want.
Especially with Zordon, who's already like kind of a computerized voice anyway. Like he's not supposed to sound smooth like us.
Yeah,
he's supposed to be
filter,
like
so he's not supposed to sound
smooth. But I mean that's the thing. It's like that takes away from artist skills, and sometimes I mean when it comes down to like the artists, because an actor's an actor. I don't care if they're on screen or off screen. What they also have their creativity. And you're creating shortcuts, and it cheapens people. It's just I don't know. It's a slippery slope, and anyone who has to go down that slope, I feel bad for them. I mean, there should be rights for actors. You can't just say, hey, well, we recorded this, we can do whatever the hell we want. It's not fair for them.
Yeah, a lot of people are, and that's an ongoing thing. Like a lot of people are sort of looking at how do contracts work and what are you signing off on and all that kind of stuff, because there are cases where voice generators are using existing work that studios have paid for and saying, well, we own this performance and we've used that and plugged it into a machine that can create an algorithm that can copy a voice, but it's a character voice, so we paid for that, and so we own. And so but they're retroactively using it, and so that's where it gets really murky, because it's sort of, you didn't pay for that performance, you paid for a performance, and now you're using somebody's skill set and just chopping and pasting and saying, well, that's okay. It's like, well, maybe like legally it is, because that didn't exist before, but it's, they're having to rewrite the rules and rewrite the way contracts are worded to say that, this performance will never be used, as a reference material for an AI, system to generate future sort of performances. It's crazy. There was a few panels at San Diego Comic-Con about that. And I think people that attend in those panels were kind of like shocked by some of the like things that are already being done with AI.
Well, like with Dragon Ball, was it Chris Sabat and I'm blanking the guy that does Goku's voice. There's been people who make cartoon shorts from Dragon Ball clips, and they use AI to generate the voices. There's no legal rights or anything, but people are doing it just for fun, but they're still doing it. You know?
Yeah, the just for fun thing is tough because what people don't realize is what they're doing is feeding input into the AI, which then learns from that and adapts and improves. And
the thing is, these videos are being posted on YouTube. They get views. They go towards monetization, technically speaking. You know, and people are going to be making money off of it. So, there should be a legal component to it.
It's kind of gross.
YouTube won't exactly catch on to it.
Then again, for all my thumbnails that I do for my unboxings, I steal promo images off of websites. So, am I any better or any worse? I don't know.
Trust me, I've Googled images before myself, so yeah.
I mean, depending on how you use it, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't. My argument would be I'm not making money, period. But I'm certainly not monetizing the picture as such.
Yeah.
It's just that it has to be transformative, right? That's the idea.
I mean, if anybody's making money off the videos that I'm doing, it's probably the companies that are selling, well, hopefully selling more products, because I told somebody that's a cool product they should go and buy it. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I think everyone's done it to some degree. You know what I mean? Like you take out the background, then you adjust the brightness and the contrast to match everything else that's in your image. That to me is transformative, right? So
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, what's the where do we draw the line? I think, and that's the question that people are trying to answer right now. Like, how original does the thing have to be, and how much input does the artist or the creator have to have in order for it to be not the original thing? And
the more steps, the better.
Cover songs are one of those things where, like, you're technically allowed to do them if A, B, and C, but if it's but then you can get sued for using a sample in a song, or like a chord progression. Like it's pretty murky, and it's pretty confusing.
You've seen me cut in like 5 seconds out of a theme song or something like that. That's just basically a talking point. It's like bringing a prop to class kind of thing. That's how I see it, right? But I don't know how others see that kind of thing, right?
But you're not. I mean, you're not trying to. And what if anybody that doesn't know? I mean, I would be shocked that anybody's watching this and doesn't know. But like, what you're talking about is your like history of videos, where you're sort of doing deep dives into toy lines or shows or IPs or whatever, and you're pulling 3, 4, 5 second clips.
Yeah,
that go along with the narrative that you're putting in. So it's
pulling a Yojo, and a lot of times I use that fake TV border. Only reason is so that I kind of skew the aspect ratio, so I'm doing everything I can not to recreate the experience of watching the other thing. Because if somebody says you can't use those 3 or 4 seconds, well, really, I put a fake TV border around it, so you're not getting the same viewing experience. I use 4 seconds of it. Right.
And there's still a voiceover over top.
And then there's a voiceover that happens before and after, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, right. there's rules, and I think there's when you're referencing something and giving credit, wherever necessary.
If a newsreel comes up and you got a reporter on screen and something pops up on the side, do you think in the time that the story broke to the time that thing popped up, they got the written permission to use that? Right, on a newsreel or something like that, right? So, yeah, I have done a thing where I use like
4-second clip of the He-Man punching. Everybody smashing the like button.
Yeah, right.
Put that on every video.
I think basically you have to do everything you can not to recreate that experience, right? Because you can't be expected. You can't be expected to have every single toy known to man that you can take a picture of in pristine condition, right? And those. I mean, you're almost like advertising for the show if you're depending on how you're doing.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that, like, to some extent, like if you're in a way servicing the person who was sort of initially capitalizing on this, then it's it's different than trying to capitalize, being sort of the primary.
Take away from them. Like, look, does everyone come to you to get permission for AWOC stuff or to me for Delta 17? No. Half the time they take website images. They don't tell us. But we're like, well, at the end of the day, you're reviewing the product and you're showing where you can order it. I'm not exactly going to complain. Neither is Steve, right? Neither is you or Jason or
I'd say so. I didn't know what I was getting in my YouTube inbox. The little video clip thing that we had, in order to put it on the Kickstarter page for Space Zombies for Mars, I'm talking about the little 45-second clip that we did. In order to put it on the Kickstarter page, it has to be hosted somewhere. So basically, it has to be a link. It's essentially a link to something. So I had to put it on my YouTube page because that was the only thing that I could figure out of like where to put it so that it could be linked on there. It's not listed, like it's not even on my channel.
But you can embed it.
But it's on my channel as an unlisted video. Maybe I should open it up so that people can
you just embed it.
And then you embed it.
Yeah.
But because it's embedded, but also shareable, people were cutting it and using it, and I got a bunch of copyright strikes in my YouTube inbox, and I was like,
copyright notifications, right?
Right, but I thought I was getting copyright strikes, but what it was is, hey, somebody's used your video. Do you authorize it, or do you want to hit them with a copyright strike?
Especially, like, but it depends how much you use.
They were using all of it, which I was totally okay with. That's what it's for.
If it's a 45-second thing, right? I've had people take 5 seconds out of my video and say, and I'm friends with Ken, and I get no notification in my inbox whatsoever, right?
Yeah, it was just, everything is different, and that's where I say, like, when I'm using a promotional image that I lift off, the Hasbro website, when I pull one of their Cold Slither pictures, because I haven't even opened the thing yet, and if I just put a picture of the box, it's like the most boring thing you could have. I'm taking that picture and putting it on a thumbnail and saying, I'm going to unbox this thing. My intention is that people are going to see it and want it and go and buy the product. I'm not big enough that I'm making money off those videos. So.
I think it depends too. Like, for me, if I use a sequence of images off of 3D Joe's, I have to notify Carson and use his logo, and he'll authorize it any day of the week. But that's because I'm using a huge sequence and it takes up like 4 minutes of my video. So
you reference 3D Joe's, and anybody that doesn't know it is going to be like, oh, I'll go check out 3D Joe's.
Exactly.
And then fall in love with 3D Joe's, and then they're sort of on the site all the time, which theoretically leads to somebody seeing something that Carson's doing.
But Carson wouldn't care, for example, if you take one image, you strip the background, you collage it with 20 other characters. Now you've created your own art, I guess, in a way, right? Because that's how everyone does it, right? So, but
yeah. Right. It's an ecosystem, right? Like you don't want to be predatory within the ecosystem to the point where it's not sustainable.
Yeah.
And I think ultimately, what AI, like the and it is worst case scenario, because there's kind of best case scenario where people use it for storyboarding and stuff like that, and it doesn't become the final product, doesn't become the finished product, and people are getting paid for their work and so on and so forth. But I think the if you become an ecosystem where there's an alpha predator, and I think this is the concern, is that AI will become like this predatory thing that just essentially decimates the sort of creative input, and it just becomes this algorithm that's just pumping things out that will be not very good. Because AI can't create. AI can mimic and cut and paste, but it can't create. It's not capable of that yet. I mean, that's sort of the Matrix problem or the Terminator problem. Like at some point, if AI can create, we're all in trouble. Because then we're no longer necessary. But anyways, that's the big, we're sort of on the precipice, right? Like we're on the verge. And I think the more people that use AI for fun, the closer we get to the worst case scenario, I guess. Or maybe not. I don't know. That's my opinion.
I think everyone kind of agrees with you on that. Right. I see AI stuff and I'm like, oh man, can I just AI my entire
I was just watching
video?
like some ads earlier and I was like, man, pretty soon we're gonna have like nobody's gonna be actors for like commercials or ads. It'll just be like AI.
No, and that's just it, right? Like that's and it already exists to some extent in like stock photos, right? Like where you there's people that got paid once for one photograph and the stock photo has been used however many times and they've never gotten paid for it ever again, and they're struggling to deal with.
Well, I mean, music also. There's a site I use called Suno for like if I want to make a song for like a stream or an intro for my channel. I can go to Suno. I can choose the type of music. I can type in some keyword suggestions, and it'll do like it'll make up lyrics. It can do a whole bunch of stuff, and it actually comes out sounding pretty damn good actually. And they give you like I think it's like 10 free credits a day, so you can make about 5 or so songs for free at no cost. So I mean, it's already out there for music. So I mean, obviously, if you want
it's already out there for a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And that's the concern is that like they'll and no offense, I'm not I'm certainly not casting any judgment on anybody that's using AI for whatever they're using it for, but I think it's sort of one of those things where there's a lot of people making music, there's a lot of people making art, there's a lot of people doing all these things that that wish there was more of an industry for it, not just as a hobby, right? And I think that the more without getting sort of too sort of sci-fi or philosophical or sort of going off the rails too much,
the machines are coming for us.
Well, the whole idea of like, okay, if automation is possible, can we not use automation to do the jobs that we don't want to do? Can't we use automation for like the dishes and laundry and lay concrete?
Editing Ken's YouTube video?
No, because this is what I'm saying. Is that like Ken, you work in the construction industry, correct?
Well, I work as an estimator for construction, but yes.
Tangentially, you work in the construction.
Do I look like a guy that would go on site and yell?
I don't think you're swinging a hammer, Ken. That's not what I asked.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So, yeah.
But my point
with that hair, I can't see Ken wearing a hard hat. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, I could, but that's a totally different.
When I'm in Toy Connections mode, no, absolutely not. When I'm in just regular Ken mode, maybe.
I could see Ken hanging out at the manhole, but anyway.
Yeah, but I'd be the guy with the blueprint saying you put it in the wrong spot. That's what I would
stop do. The stop sign, tell them go around.
But what
I used to be a licensed traffic control person, actually.
We're talking about this sort of dystopian idea where AI kind of takes over and we become obsolete. But there's also a utopian version of that where automation actually allows all of us to not do manual labor, and we just kind of get to follow our passions and follow our creative, desires. And then there's a flourishing of art and music and painting and sculpture, because we don't have to, do concrete. We don't have to sort garbage at a recycling depot. Like, that's what I'm saying is, like, I think allowing AI to do the stuff that is so intrinsically human is the really dangerous thing. And so when you're doing it for fun and you're going, I'm letting my action figures, become animated, learn stop motion animation, and I will have a huge amount of respect for you, because that's not something that I have the patience for. But plugging something into, an AI thing that's going to simulate it, there's an uncanny valley thing going on. There is the fact that you're plugging data into a system that is essentially trying to replace a human creator. Like, there's way more cons to AI than there is pros in the path that it is currently going down. That's my opinion. As I said, this is the, take it or leave it. I'm not trying to convince anybody. I'm just saying I see more danger in the current uses of AI than there is pros, because I don't think we're heading towards automation where people still get paid to stay home. That's what I'm saying. We're getting AI is on a path to creating obsolescence in jobs that then people won't have a job. Not they will be elevated above that and not have to work. Their job will be replaced.
Well, that actually happened to my sister-in-law's husband about 2.5 weeks ago.
Oh, that's exactly what I'm saying.
As they downsized the workforce because they were switching to automation. And sadly, that's the thing that we're seeing more and more happen. I mean, hell, like, go into a fast food restaurant like McDonald's. You have those kiosks, those columns where you can just go onto a tablet like device, choose whatever you want to order. And obviously, that's supposed to make things more efficient. But let's be honest, when it comes to fast food, they will still mess up your order regardless. But it's the thing, like, hey, we're going to do this because we think this is going to make things more efficient. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, definitely AI is a slippery slope no matter what you are going to discuss. It's like, and that's the thing. We're feeding more information that changes algorithms. Everything is always changing, and it's always going to change. We can joke about we can joke about Skynet, and we can joke about I was thinking of Wally, and somebody in the chat, I think it was K Dog, had mentioned about Wally, because you were saying earlier about automating machines to do jobs that we don't want to do, right? Like cleaning floors and doing dishes and everything else, and with that also opens up the world of idiocracy. Where people are just gonna, they won't be really free thinking for themselves. They're just gonna be, hopped up on electrolytes, and and we elect a president named Nacho Camacho. It'll happen. And everybody's going to be wearing Crocs. Oh wait, everybody does wear Crocs now. So we're almost there.
I held out for a long time, and then there was like a crazy sale, and I think my wife bought me a pair, and I was like, I get it, I understand. I don't wear them all the time. I'm not wearing them out of the house or anything like that, and I'm not currently wearing them. But for when you got to walk out, to the yard for something, and they're pretty comfortable. Yeah. I think a couple of people are saying if we don't use AI, then somebody else will. I don't have a problem, strictly speaking, with AI. I have a concern about how AI is used,
how it's used,
the application of it, and who's using it to what ends, rather than like the fact that it exists. Of course it exists. I use Siri in my phone. That's AI. There's a lot of applications of AI that people probably don't even realize it's AI. There's a lot of automated stuff that should be automated.
Anytime you Google, that's AI right there.
Yeah, I mean, there's if AI makes your life easier by doing a task that isn't sort of a readily sort of applicable task to sort of a human person, then it kind of makes sense. And again, if AI can be used to automate things that can make life easier for humans, that's the point. That's the point. You do also see dystopian views of that where people get lazy, which is Wall-E to some extent, but it's I like to think that there is a potential within AI to sort of alleviate a lot of the issues that humanity faces, and I don't think we're necessarily using it as effectively or efficiently as we could. Anyway. Hey, did you guys San Diego Comic-Con was last week.
Hey, I'm happy after I didn't even know I've never gone to San Diego Comic-Con. I secured my Ecto Glows yesterday, so I'm happy.
Yeah, they went up. They were up on.
That is before the website started going all crazy and goofy. You guys heard about that, right?
It's had some issues over the last little bit, but I don't know about the ones recently. I was at San Diego, so I didn't have to buy anything when they did the San Diego Comic-Con drop. I had picked up. Well, the only thing, in a perfect world, I would have got everything, but what I did get was just the Cold Slither set. So, but they're already on my desk.
That looks very cool.
Dude, it's such a cool set. It's such a fun set. And it is literally the perfect San Diego Comic-Con exclusive because we have all four of these characters already in the line in their, vintage look or in their, their normal look. So this isn't a set of characters that you wouldn't be able to get otherwise. You can go and get musical instruments, 1/12 scale musical instruments, a number of different places,
or print them,
or make them, or whatever. Right. Now you would have to do a little bit of work to get a Cold Slither bass drum. But
maybe, print a little decal like on a
just a little print out.
Transfer stock. You can probably do that.
You could do it, but I was happy to get this. It's a fun set. Yeah. I didn't need the Savage Land set. I didn't need the Ecto Glow figures. They had early release of the Awstriker and Slice and Dice, but I have both of those on pre-order. I didn't want to bring them back. I didn't feel like carting them in my luggage made sense. I was already carting enough stuff back for other people.
Now, with the Ecto Glow, yesterday there was this fiasco where obviously an hour before it was available for everyone, Premium Pulse could get it. Then it was available. I grabbed mine when it was available. Like the app was not, for some reason the app is all screwy because I was at checkout, kept asking for my phone number. I'm typing my phone number in, wasn't acknowledging it. So I had to hop off my phone while I was on my break, switch over to my computer because I actually work from home, do customer support for basically a company that helps people afford specialty medications. So I was on break, went to go ahead and do that, made sure my order went through. Like 2 or 3 hours later, it switched back from being like pre-order to only being available for Premium Pulse.
Oh, really?
And that happened for several hours. In the next update, that was sold out. So that was a freaky kind of a glitch that Hasbro had going on, and people were experiencing that on the West Coast and the East Coast yesterday. So, me being the Ghostbuster person I am, because I don't know if you can tell, I got a couple Proton packs behind me. I was happy to get those because a buddy of mine had already said that he was going to order a bunch of the Ecto ones.
Yeah.
So I already have that secured. So I have my Ecto secured. So, I mean, it's a niche collection. I wouldn't mind getting the Savage Land set at some point if I ever come across it. But
that
G.I. Joe. What was that?
$200 on eBay already.
I believe it.
3-pack. So they was talking about earlier.
I mean, all the Joe stuff looks great. The only thing I would definitely pass on is like the Steel Core Sentry and Modular Defense Post, because I've seen stuff. I mean, it looks cool and all, but I have a 3D printer, so I can get stuff off of Etsy, files off Etsy, which are upscaled to classified. And like I did for my buddy Dre, I actually bought the files for Devilfish, and it's scaled up to a classified figure. So I printed that up for him. There's a lot of stuff that they have on there, like the Snowcap. They have that up for files. So for like $20, I can get those. I can get their version of the files and kind of print my own stuff. It's like some of the stuff. Don't get me wrong. The figures, all the figures, like mainframe, everything. I want to get those. But like some of the vehicles, it's like, well, I kind of pass on it because one, vehicles take up a lot of space. But it's like, I don't know. Like as of lately, there's not been a whole lot that really makes me want to jump on things. But that Cold Slither, I mean, like I remember seeing that as a cartoon. I was like, I'm gonna hold off on getting anything like that. But you know, who knows? Maybe secondary market, I'll see something. But I'm definitely not paying $200 for that. They can sit and rotate for that much. But yeah, I get it. Like everything looks, it's that cool moment from that one, episode, but it is iconic.
I mean, the Cold Slither stuff. One of my top 5 episodes of the G.I. Joe cartoon, which is, one of my top, favorite cartoons from my childhood.
Zartan is a frontman in a hairband.
Yeah, but the whole plot is outrageous. I don't know when the last time you watched it or when anybody sort of watched it, but the whole plot for anybody who sort of hasn't watched it recently, Cobra loses all its money. They get foreclosed on basically, and then Zaymot and Tomax have to sell off a whole bunch of the assets, and the Joes go to this like Cobra base, and there's like this auction on for the property, and they're like, "What the heck's going on?" And they're like, "Cobra's broke." So Cobra Commander has to figure out a way to make $200 million in 48 hours or something along these lines. And so that's where we get Old Snake, which is the disguised Cobra Commander. So he's got the trench coat on, he's got the hat on, but he's still got the chrome mask on. And he goes to this
like Transformers.
Yeah. and so him and Firefly, same disguise, trench coat, hat, but still Firefly's gray, mask on, go to this shady bar and go to this back room and ask for ask this loan shark, who is a little person with a really weird vocabulary, for a loan to put a band together to record an album, to play a show, to hypnotize people into giving them money. Like, it doesn't make any sense at all. And then at the very end of the episode, the Joes figure it all out, and they sort of confront Cobra Commander in a like a sound, like not a sound studio booth, but like in the sound booth for the concert, like where they have the mixing boards and stuff like that for the concert, and he's like busted, and he jumps out a glass window, and then that's it for. And then the G.I. Joes are like, "Oh, we cut the concert short. Like, we feel bad for people. What should we do?" And then that's when the original, or the Average Joe band plays the
G.I. Joe's actually
song. The G.I. Joes play the theme song off the stage. Like, it's the most outrageous thing.
Because I think wasn't like I think Duke was one of the guys on stage, if I remember that correctly.
Yep. And then they have backup vocals are like Scarlet, Covergirl, and Lady J, Shipwreck, Breaker, and Rock and Roll, I think.
Well, you
like
got to
some of
have
the
rock and
bands.
roll part as
Yeah, I was
part
gonna
of
say
it.
that's-
Yeah.
That just kind of goes without saying.
It's wild. It's like it's ridiculous. And I learned that the guy that wrote that episode grew up in LA during the hair metal band era and absolutely hated it. So it was like his satirical take on the whole thing. And he was just making fun of it. And it's like hugely popular and everybody loves Cold Slither. But they recorded a whole album. Like, so I mean, I've got my Cold Slither sort of cartoon version of the t-shirt.
Yeah.
But I got the like live action version of the t-shirt at the show. I went to the Cold Slither show, got the album. Like the album's on Spotify. You can listen to it. It's good. Like it's enjoyable to listen to. And so having the set to me was also kind of a souvenir of like San Diego Comic-Con weekend in a way. So I get people that don't love the episode and sort of don't love the idea of hair metal, I guess.
Well, it's
an easy pass. But...
I can admit that there's definitely something niche about it. Because it's like
100%.
It's like, are you gonna get that one figure from that from that one episode? Like, well, hell, I've done that with so many others.
Somebody asked about the drumsticks. There's the drumsticks and buzzer.
I mean, like, that's why I'm a fan of a lot of Super 7 stuff. Like,
deep cuts.
Because I love Power Rangers, and the Power Ranger figures they've done, they've had those weapons or that one item from that one episode, and that's what kind of grabs you. It's like, hey, I wish I could have got this piece as an accessory. Well, that's what they have there. They do that with just about everything. I mean, even with like NECA, I'm a big Back to the Future fan, and a lot of the I have the accessory kit that came with the that they sold separately. That has like Einstein. It has like Marty's shoes in the futuristic container from part 2. It's got all these like weird things that you can recreate with your NECA figures to recreate that one scene. So there's some things that are probably like very easily passed, but I mean, like, they still have it up for pre-order on Pulse. So
I think they're doing another run. I think that because they had all the in-stock stuff up before, and I think now it says pre-order.
Yeah. What's weird is it says pre-order, but there's a clock on there, but it says 0 days, 0 hours, and it says ended right above it, which is kind of weird.
So that was for the pre-order.
That was okay, but they still have the pre-order button here though, which is weird.
Or sorry, that was like the countdown that they had for all the other
countdown
San Diego Comic-Con exclusive stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
And the Cold Slither set, to the best of my knowledge, was sold out 2 or 3 times since yesterday when it went up. And now it's just sort of there as a pre-order. So I think I think there was just enough demand for that particular set that they're making a second production run. Because it's not in stock that you're buying now, it's pre-order, and I think they said it's like October delivery or something like that, which is still shockingly fast, which makes me think that they anticipated that they would do a second production run.
Yeah,
it's already scheduled, and so now you're just looking at
when stuff is only like a month or so away. That's just like it shakes your head, because half the time when they drop releases, it's like, oh, this is going to ship in 10 months.
So okay, so what does it say? Does it say? Sorry, I'm trying to pull it up here.
Because I thought it said September.
Oh yeah, it says September 17th, 2025.
Yeah.
So what that means is September 17th, you go August 17th. I think if you want this set, pre-order it now. Like, do it sooner rather than later. Because I think probably what's happening is that they probably scheduled a second production run for August, and that production run will be kind of whatever the number is from these pre-orders. So if you don't get a pre-order, meaning if you don't get a pre-order in sooner rather than later, once it goes into production, that's it. They won't make it again.
Well, it's just like I'm psyched for should be like less than a month for the Cobra snake system, the exosuit, the battle suit.
Oh yeah.
I
People
got in
have
on
already
that a
started getting them, haven't
while
they?
back. I haven't received any notification as of yet for shipping.
I think depending on where you ordered it, maybe might affect, but I think some people have
I
started
did it
getting it. I
directly
think
through
production.
Pulse.
Yeah, I think production stuff has started getting out there, so I think it's just sort of making its way to people. My Rattler just showed up a couple days ago, so I haven't even. But then again, other people are still getting their shipping notifications.
My buddy sent me pictures of his unboxing. I'm like, looks great, but the size takes up space.
I don't know where I'm gonna put it.
That's the thing with like vehicles. I have the Jeeps, and I have like one of the Tiger Force motorcycle. That's pretty much all the vehicles I have for GI Joes because it's just the vehicles would just take up so much space.
Tell me.
I mean, like, was it the last year was like the year of the vehicles? I mean, all the different friggin' Batmobiles from McFarlane and everything else. It's like,
so I only do the classified vehicles, but when I say I do the classified vehicles, you have to keep in mind that for me, classified as a toy line, not a collectible line. So I have 2 hisses, I have 2 vamps, 2 stingers, 2 dragonflies. I got a bunch of coil cycles. I got a bunch of the.
Is this the Noah's Ark for classifieds? You got 2 of each?
No, I just think when you have 2, you like a lot of them have a driver, right? So like
one to stock, one to rock.
No, 2 to play with in the hallways in the living rooms with my kids. Like my kids push his tanks down the hallway, not as often as I wish they did, but still. Like even the Dragonfly, right? You got Wild Bill piloting one, but you got another one that's got Lady J and Flint in it, kind of thing. So, I tend to buy 2 of a lot of the vehicles because I think one-offs. The Tiger Sting, I'll just buy 1 when they do the Tiger Sting. The cesspool or the septic tank, if they do that, I would just buy 1. But like when they're sort of more iconic, I typically buy 2. I think I have 2 snake armors coming. Like I don't need to, but 1 doesn't feel like your army building, so it doesn't feel right.
Yeah, I'm psyched for that. I can't wait.
Wade says would pick up the set just for the instruments. Let me hold these up. So
did you back the Snowcat?
No. The Snowcat was never a vehicle that I was particularly fond of. Ironically, as somebody that lives in Canada that gets snow, I felt playability was limited when you had something like that. So whether it's snow, whether it's underwater, like if it's a specific environment, it to me didn't resonate as much as a kid. Even though you could take things in the tub or the pool or play in the snow, they just didn't have the same. They didn't do it for me. So the Snowcat's right there.
I'm surprised with was it 11 days and change
that are a little bit weird too, but that's not why I'm not backing it. When I knew it was the Snowcat, I was like, well, maybe, but it just didn't do it for me.
Now, where in Canada are you?
I'm in Western Canada. I'm in BC.
Okay.
But for Wade Create, I just wanted to show the full lineup of the instruments. So you get the Flying V with okay. So we'll get the Flying V with him, which is painted, and I mean he's got he's got laced up pants, right? Like they went full hair metal, and I will say that for the most part, these are almost exact representations of what the guys on stage looked like at the show. You get the I don't know what style of guitar that is, but it's sort of an X shape. I haven't heated it up to fix it, but they are fairly.
I was going to say that the neck looks a little bent.
Yeah, but I will point out and I did point this out when I unboxed these live on Wednesday, that it's fairly rigid. I think it just went into the box a little bit warm and kind of bent in the box.
Gotcha.
So I think if I heat this back up and sort of
I mean,
straighten
we
it'll
see it
stay
all the
straight.
time with the guns all the time.
Yeah, but it's not the soft gummy plastic that we had earlier in the line. It's a little more rigid. Then this might be my favorite. You get the keytar with flames.
You gotta love the
there.
flames on it. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And then the drum set, I won't pick it up because it's like multiple pieces. Well, hold on, I'll do my best. But see, I'm knocking all my figures over on my desk now. I can set them all back up. They're all getting knocked over because it's easier. I showed the drumsticks and I showed the bass, but like you get the cymbals, you get all the, it's like a full kit.
Now, does it come with speakers too?
No, I'm gonna have to get speakers.
Okay.
Arlen got it as well, and so Arlen's gonna sculpt a stage and hopefully print me one. You get like the bass kick pedal.
Yep. Okay.
You get the
simple.
There's a you still get that
pedal for that.
There's also the little stool, which is even textured on there to look like leather, or the fake leather that drum kit seats are always like. And initially I didn't realize why these were in there, but because I think they could get broken or what have you, there's actually 2 extra guitar straps. So they actually cover you for like if you put them on and it kind of like snaps one, I guess.
I was wondering what those were in the pictures.
On there's extra guitar straps, which I think is kind of clever. What I will say, there aren't speakers or monitors or anything like that, but packed in with the set, the like card back insert things. Let me grab it.
Does it have like a representation of speakers?
Let me grab it. Hold on. I got to disconnect for a sec because I got to go grab it because it's not at hand. I'll be back in 10 seconds.
All right, I'll throw you back up in a minute. I'm excited. I talked on the last couple of weeks that my Tigra figure broke. That Tigra from the Fire and Ice for Zeta Girls, her knee broke. Yeah, I was so bummed out because I don't know, it's been over a year ago she came out, and I know she's been sold out for probably just as long. I finally messaged for Zeta Girls and was like, I don't know if there's anything I could do. I was broken at the knee. I was like, I know if I had like the leg, I could replace it at the hip, this and that. But they said they'll send me out a replacement, and I was kind of shocked. I didn't know if they'd have any parts like that. They sent me an email and then said label created, ready to ship, and it said Tigra head. I was like, wait a minute, I don't need the head. So I wrote her back again, and she said, I'm so glad you caught that. We'll get that fixed. I'll write them a note, and we'll send you out the parts you need. So I'm not sure if I'm getting a whole figure or just a leg or what, but I'm just glad to get it replaced because I love that figure. Yeah, Thanos, I finally reached out to him. Oh, yeah. Kind of like a stage then? I'm going to blow you back up again.
So it doesn't have speakers, but you get like the stage and the backdrop.
Oh, yeah. And all the crap everybody threw on stage.
Yeah, and it's got like lyrics from the Cold Slither song. So I feel like getting speakers to sort of go along with this set is probably pretty easy.
Snakehead, the hood on it almost looks like stairs going up. Like that.
I mean, there are
stairs.
There are anyone that does 3D printing. If you know anyone, they can easily print that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's tons of files for speakers, but what I was wondering was, if you have speakers, you're gonna get like a little Bluetooth speaker for the background, so you can actually have the music playing.
Dude, that would be good.
Yeah, I'm right there with them. Uncle like Joe, but I almost wanted for that.
Dude, I honestly
get like a little small Bluetooth speaker in the background, and behind the stage, and you just
honestly, just as a cool, like if you collect 12-inch scale, 12-inch scale, 6-inch scale, kind of Hasbro type stuff, Like I'm thinking of like somebody like Thanos, right? Like where he's like toy photographer, background stuff, like the instruments. Like you can have, like they could just be a band. They could just be they don't have to be sort of GI Joe related. In my,
I mean, hell,
opinion.
you could do that with like NECA, like they've done Lemmy and plenty of others.
Yeah, I was just looking at some of those at GameStop today.
It's cool, man. It's a cool set, and it's a set that I think is a lot of fun. And you get a lot of cool stuff, packed in the box. So I highly recommend if you're sort of thinking about it, if you're on the fence. I think it's well worth it because you get all the figures.
It might be one of the easier ways to get a Zartan.
Is it? I have all the Zartans. I don't know.
I live in the Buffalo, New York area. I've never seen a Zartan in person.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Because usually, well, sadly, the scalpers.
Well, he is a master of disguise, so maybe you have and you just didn't know.
But I also didn't want to pay like $80 at like a con for him, too. So
was he a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive a couple years ago? That Master of Disguise Zartan, or was that is that right?
I'm not sure.
Because I know that there was like
I know there was like a special one like was 2 years ago, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like I remember something like that. I don't know how quite Joe's or anything, but I think that sounds familiar.
Yeah, I think he was an exclusive of some sort because he was like super deluxe box set, color change, blah blah blah. But that's the one on my shelf. But I had the first version. I might still, and then I have the color change version. I didn't get the retro carded one, but I didn't feel like I needed it after like 4 other versions. Wade Create says I would be hypnotized into giving those dudes money. That was the whole plot of the episode, was that their song was hypnotic, and so people could.
I really thought you were going into they were doing like a battle of the bands trying to get money.
No, it was like there was a
That's what I was
there was
going.
like a
come on, don't you want to see Cold Slither versus Jim for a battle of the bands?
Hey,
how much have you heard about the Cold Slither concert?
Not much.
So if
you want to hop on, you could too.
The original voice actress from Gem and the Holograms is still a musician. Like she's still a singer, an active singer, touring musician. So Cold Slither finished their set. They played all the songs on the album, which is, I don't know, 11 songs. There's the 11 songs. That's the album. That's the back of the album. They look exactly like the figures and like they did on stage. It was.
And that's an actual album too. It's a record in there.
Yeah, it's a 12-inch vinyl. This is the Hasbro exclusive one. So this is like a gray marbled translucent vinyl. There was a red vinyl that you could get from the record company, and now you can buy the orange one online, which I probably will, along with a third T-shirt. But so Cold Slither played their 11-song set. Yes, Britta Phillips. There you go, Allison Troy. Allison knows. Galaxy 500, which is a 90s indie band, which I didn't know. I didn't know that she had a career, as a musician outside. Well, not outside of. I didn't know that she had a career as a musician after, she did the sort of voice for Gem and stuff like that. But Cold Slither finished. They left the stage. Everybody's cheering, wanting an encore. And through the course of the show, they had these two, maybe 3 TV screens, maybe 2 each side and then one above. They were showing kind of music videos that corresponded with the songs and stuff like that, which is just cool. It added a visual effect. Cobra Commander came on and said, you're now under our control or whatever. Like they just really played into it. And it was like a great production, but it was still a super good show. And I'll talk way more about this tomorrow on my show, but They let the stage. Everybody's still cheering, hoping for an encore. The TVs turn back on, and there's like a bunch of like matrixy looking, computer data input stuff on the screen, like super 80s though. The flashing cursor and everything, and then the sort of stuff coming up, and then this indigo, purple, blue kind of computer image, cartoon image comes up and goes, I am, and forgive me, Allison, I don't know exactly how she said it or what she says, but Synergy comes on the TV. And if you know Gem, you know what Synergy is. Now, as it turns out, it felt like only about 20 or 30% of the audience had any idea what Synergy was. And that percentage of the crowd started cheering, and everybody else was looking
They're probably
at
losing
each
their
other
minds.
like, what is this? This isn't G.I. Joe. And I said to the two guys that I was with, I was like, I told you guys, I knew there was going to be something about, Gem and the holograms or something. Personally, I feel like it would have been more on brand to have the Misfits, but that's a whole different discussion. I was not disappointed by what happened. Cold Slither comes back on stage, and they go, we would like to invite our friend Gem, and it's Britta Phillips, and she comes out and she sings, the theme song, and then they play Cold Slither again. So it was just a quick sort of 2-song, encore, but it was fantastic. It was great. It was amazing. And then she was there after, signing stuff and all that kind of stuff. It was so much fun. It was and it was a whole bunch of 40-year-old dudes just hanging out in a metal bar, watching a made-up cartoon band play a set live. It was so weird. The really funny part was everybody got there pretty early. Everybody's lined up. Everybody went in. It was super easy to buy a drink at the bar, but but you had to line up. People were standing in the line for like an hour to get Cold Slither merchandise, but you could easily walk right up to the bar and get a drink.
Well, guys, I'm going to hop off. It's about 3:30 a.m. here.
Yeah, so probably wrap it up too. It's late enough, I think. Later for you, right, Adam? What time you got?
No, I'm on the West Coast too, buddy.
2:30?
12:30.
Night's still young for him.
Yeah.
Are you? Oh, okay. Yeah,
but
12:30 for me.
I'm going to catch you guys later. Adam, cool meeting you. Cobb, thanks for having me on, and I'm going to catch you guys later.
All right, we'll see you later, Dave. Okay, brother. Is it cool meeting you?
Well,
the first time you guys were on together?
I don't think so, but don't tell him that.
Okay.
I don't know, though.
I swear you guys have probably been on here before.
I think he's on earlier because he's on the West Coast sometimes, and sometimes I'm on.
You never know on here.
I'm like, later
from week to week. Like how they
remember
there's
like
the week before. Like, week.
10 people on here sometimes too, so it's hard to remember.
Yeah.
Well, it started as just us, Cobb, and now it's just us again.
Yep. Yeah. It'll be a good cut off point. At least we got some out of him. Glad. Thanks for everybody who's showing up. Glad that we were able to at least pop on here for you guys to hang out for a little bit. Something for us to do. Adam got to open some stuff.
Mm-hmm. I gotta go.
I was going to ask earlier too, real quick. You collect Savage Crucibles at all too? Don't you have some?
I have. I have Jaeger. That's the only one I have. They're.
Okay.
I really like what they're doing.
Yeah, I was real happy they had that sale again on Friday. That you're able to go back.
Wave 2 in-stock sale, right?
Yeah, and I picked up those 2 ball and chain, and another one was.
Mm-hmm.
I had one ordered from some toy store, and they said they were coming in. Oh yeah, they're coming in now. They'll be ready to ship pretty soon. And then I emailed them. I was like, hey, that was like July 2nd. It was like getting towards the end of the month, and he's like, oh yeah, we totally are stock on that. I'm so sorry. Give me a $20.
You'd pre-ordered it, but they didn't have it?
Not when they first came out. I started seeing everybody with them, and so I was looking back trying to find the only place I could find was some toy shop. But Ended up they didn't get it, but he gave me a $20 store credit, so I could get something else from them later. So I was like, oh, worked out. But I started looking on eBay, and then Thanos reminded me that they're coming up this Friday. So I was like, oh shit! Jumped on there and grabbed me those couple. I'm excited to get those soon. Oh yeah, Thanos is saying something. They're gonna have another in stock coming up soon too. So
nice.
Jay said, great seeing you at SD.
Yeah. That's at San Diego Comic-Con is wild. There's like 150,000 people, and I thought I'm used to smaller cons where like you kind of see everybody that's there, and so I thought I would just bump into everybody that I knew that was going to be there.
Oh,
that definitely didn't happen.
I mean, I've never been, but
lost the people that I was with a few times. Like I was like, I don't even know where they are, let alone where everybody else is. So it was
I mess with my kids so bad. My kids were with their mom, but I was like, "Hey, is that San Diego Comic-Con exclusive?" And I was like, "Yeah." It was hard. I kind of started messing around like I was there, and they're like, "Wait, you went?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "You went without us?" And I was like, "Oh, I didn't think you guys would want to go." They're like, "Dude, of course we'd want to go." And I was like, "No, I didn't go. Hell no." I was like, "If I did go, I'd take you guys."
It is wild. It was one of the most surreal experiences I've ever had. And it as I said, and I don't normally kind of like self promote, but I don't want to like bore people with stories that I'm going to tell again tomorrow. Tomorrow, I haven't done a show in it feels like ages, but I'm going to do a show tomorrow just to do like a San Diego Comic-Con recap because it was just like wild. And I probably won't even talk about most of the toys that got revealed. People have seen that stuff. But just as far as like my first Comic-Con experience, it was crazy, and I didn't
I've never been
plan to go
any con at all. I'm like, that might be that's like the closest one to me. But I'm like, I think I should start with something smaller first because San Diego.
It's yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
All right, well, yeah. So, anybody still watching? Check out Adam tomorrow. It's more insight on Comic-Con.
Yeah, insight. It's not so much insight. Arlen has insight because he's been a bunch of times. It was my first time, and it was like, it was, it was pretty.
Well, here's some of Adam's horror stories or whatever he's got going.
No, it was all good. I have nothing but sort of a good sort of view of it.
That's cool.
Well, no, that's not true. There's a couple things that I'm like, this is dumb, and they shouldn't do it this way. But yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. But it really is unlike anything I've ever experienced before.
Cool. Hey, I'm gonna have to get me to a con. So, all right, we'll put it up here. So thanks everybody.
And Allison, I could talk about Einstein. I did take physics in university, and I'm fascinated by physics and relativity. But ask me about that again on my show, and I'll give you more on that. We'll save it for today.
Hit the end stream, see how long it takes. And good night, everybody.
Exactly. Bye, everybody.
You can do anything. There, it finally popped up for me.